Howdy folks, and welcome back to Adventures in Alberon, our 5th edition Dungeons & Dragons game. I'm Joe Treff, I'm your Dungeon Master this evening. I'm joined, as always, by Matt, Miles, Allie, and Tina. Matt is already dropping things.
Wow.
As per usual.
Party foul.
A couple quick things before we get into the meat of today's game. I am fairly sick, and so this session is going to last however long my voice does. I have these little throat lozenges and tea and water and all manner of things. We're going to do as much as we can do. That being said, this will be a shorter session, probably ending around, I don't know, probably like 3 hours, 3.5 hours long, depending on where we get to. Also, Talon, thank you very much for the bits. And also, as Talon noticed, we do have our new theme song music, which is playing during the break. If you missed it, that was custom made by the user 100 Take Wonder on Reddit. Definitely check them out. Like super, super cool music that they'll work with you. They'll find exactly the sound that you want. A couple other announcements before we get started. We were off last week, so there was nothing that we streamed last week. However, Kobe Quest is up for the next 15 days, I believe. So we put that up last week so that you can go and watch again.
Kobe.
Also wanted to say the Crit Chicks they've started a new Instagram channel. They'll be coming out with a whole bunch of new content starting, I think, in the new year. But definitely, it's just at Crit Chicks on Instagram. Speaking of which, check us out on Instagram. We are Alberon RPG on Instagram, on Twitter, on all the social media things. And then finally, wanted to say that for the music and the sounds this evening, we are using Sirenscape. And we have new speakers that actually, hopefully you'll be able to hear the music a little bit better than you normally can.
I think it sounds a little better.
Wow.
Nothing. That's just a little ASMR for me.
If you whisper through the microphone, everybody can hear you.
Oh, yeah.
So, we have been on for 2 weeks. I will give us a little bit of a more thorough recap than I normally would. All of you, finger game.
Yeah.
What's up?
Follow the diviner, Bernal, to Far Shore, with the idea that perhaps he could help you figure out a little bit more as to what's going on in the prophecy that you received from Vera Waith the last time you were in Port Quinn. You had a number of mishaps, starting with sinking the ship in Biss and, being accused of several things in Captain's Keep. Eventually, you made it to Far Shore. And immediately came into other problems. Heinrich, of course, you attempting to kill one of the members of the Weaver Circle, what is basically the high magic police of the Sunrest Islands.
She told me to do it.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to hold up in court. But that did happen. And so you guys, as far as you know, probably not terribly welcome as a group to the Sunrest Islands. However, you guys went to the Heart to drop Thistle off to complete his task. There, you battled through a zombie beholder and all manner of dangerous beasts. You encountered a large, scaly blue figure, which you ran away from rather wisely. Yeah. Eventually, you came upon the Pillar of Scales, this large crystalline structure rising within this subterranean cavernous space going straight up and out through the rock. You found Bernal, the wizard that you had originally followed to Sunrest, who had been seemingly possessed by whatever this pillar was or some entity within it. It's unclear. However, in the battle and the ensuing retreat, you guys lost Thistle, the friendly furbulg who you had on your adventure since Captain's Keep.
My hugger.
You returned to the start of your adventure, the city of Port Quinn, the northernmost port city in the Kingdom of Sarentil. Shay, you went, and of course, immediately broke off into different directions.
Oh yeah, as we do.
Per usual.
That is how we roll.
Going
Especially
back
in
to
Port Quinn.
Well, yeah, Port Quinn was the original part. So before the stream began, we began our adventures in Port Quinn, and we, all of these people didn't want to work together, and so the first, I would say, like 6 or 7 sessions, there was no more than 2 of them in the same place at any given time, and we had 6 players. So
we let Joe know how this was going to go.
It was an early indication. Yeah. So you guys immediately split up. Shay, you going to the roof of the bank. This marble and gold chased building, second highest structure within Port Quinn. They're finding the scattered feather imprints on the fallen snow of an Era Cochrane having landed with a single word written unobfuscated in Zinyi that read only danger. Morwen, you took Sade and Tinsbury back to the site of Morwen's Miscellaneous, finding that it had closed, or at least moved locations. You then took off in the direction, I believe, of
Rose House.
Rose House.
Rose
Hi.
House.
Rose House. Yes.
You returned to the Cold Harp, a very humble bar.
Quality poor.
Quality poor. A very humble bar owned and run by your friend Ska.
That's my hometown. Huh? No, that's my hang. That place is my hang.
How useful is he?
Pardon me?
How useful is he?
Ska.
Who? Scott? He's not around.
So he's currently, you did, so let me finish the recap.
yeah. Come on, man.
You returned to the Cold
Shut
Harp.
up.
This is what happens when we miss 2 weeks. You returned to the Cold Harp, and in finding your friend Ska having been kidnapped or perhaps taken by a group of individuals heading in the north, you decided that you would help Tom, the other bartender, out, and invested a large amount of money into this inn, although we have not established exactly how much, but somewhere in the neighborhood of 350 gold, to renovate the Cold Harp, adding part of a second floor, expanding the first floor. I would say last session you talked to Tom about it, so he'll be beginning to get the stuff for that.
A little bit of soft fantasy gentrification.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Exactly, yeah. Gotta make the neighborhood a little bit better.
Well, centers of attention and bringing money in for my friends and what little of them there are left.
Which brings us to Gunter. And Gunter, you had just gotten off the ship. You watched as the rest of the crowd dispersed. What are you doing? Let me bring up a little more appropriate music for you.
I think I was going to the Fist Hall. Yeah.
Fist Hall?
Fist
Ooh.
Hall.
Okay.
Question: it is now? What is the equivalent of winter?
So are you asking the date?
Sure, or just like the season.
It's winter.
Okay,
It
so
is
like when we
technically-
left, it was heading into fall.
It was like right into the beginning of winter. So like you are now. So it is currently the 27th of the drawing down.
Okay.
The next month, if I remember correctly, is deep winter,
Okay.
which is like
Winter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you get into the 3 months, which are the claws of storms, the claws of winter, and then the claw of rain, maybe. And that's sort of like the winter spreading into the spring.
Okay. Cool.
You are
So
in
it's pretty.
January-ish.
Yeah. So it's like still newer snow, not gross
Yes,
muddy
and this
snow.
this snow, Shay had figured out that it had fallen within the last 12 hours. It had been very recent fallen snow. What else? Oh, hi, Campfire Quest. Thank you for joining in, and thank you for the raid. And everybody who joined in as well. So you're heading to the Fist Hall.
Yes.
Okay. So, you make your way out of the docks, winding through the buildings. This district being very poor, a lot of the buildings haphazard. You remember a lot of them. Based on the last time you were in Port Quinn, you remember some of them. You were intoxicated for decent portions, having been in the company of Electai for a good amount of that time. It takes you a second to get back to the Dwarven District, not because you can't find your way, but because it looks quite different. As you approach, where you remember these sort of wooden gates sort of haphazardously making a gate that led into the Dwarven Quarter, which everybody else calls a refugee quarter, you see now that there's been metal elements added to it, and it actually does say there are Dwarven runes and an iron sign that seem to have been like hot stamped in, leaving this blue annealed sort of twisting shape to the metal itself, where it does say New Kol Turan.
They're really making their home here.
Making your way in, you can see where before most of the buildings created out of scrap lumber and bits of metal, high quality craftsmanship and poor quality materials. It seems as if over the last, and you guys have been away for about 70 days. In that time, there have been improvements made. And the quarter has actually grown slightly. There's been another street added on to the end. You could see there's actually like cobblestone going down, whereas before it was just mud. The Fist Hall catches you by surprise because it looks entirely different. In fact,
Surprise fists.
It's just made of
It's
fists.
just like a big fist coming out of the ground.
So you would
No,
remember
it's a
before.
fist, and then when you open the door, it goes, and you walk into the palm.
Yeah.
You're welcome.
It's like,
Oh no, we don't have any of our adherents.
Oh,
I got it in a minute.
Oh no.
This way you can help out, buddy.
Oh no. Sacrilege.
no! Get him off of there.
Gunter, whereas before this building had been curved and had wood at all different angles and elements that had just been like actual raw trees with branches still attached as supports, it looks as if the entire structure has been torn down and rebuilt. It is now very fresh timber, but like almost like a log cabin style construction. Same rough shape, although much neater. Before, you remember there was angles and all kinds of weird nooks and crannies. Now it actually looks like a building.
all right, gonna go up to the old bar.
Okay.
Anyone there?
I mean, you can hear the sounds from within it. It seems like it's fairly loud, and actually a lot louder than it was before. And interestingly, as you're standing at the door, it opens, and past you walks a human. And now looking around this corridor, you can see it's still primarily dwarven, and it's about 1 p.m., so there are, people going here and there. But there are people, like humans within this, and you see maybe like a half-elf walk by. A little bit more gentrified, perhaps.
Yeah.
We're diffused.
All right, gonna
Socially diffused, I think is a little more
scoot
polite.
on in, go through,
Okay.
go and check out the place.
Sure.
Ah.
I remove the burp.
Oh.
You actually like deleted it.
Because it caught me by surprise. It was so aggressive every
single
time. So,
Oh shit.
as you enter, just 1 second, you can see here the ceiling has been raised, whereas before it was maybe like 6 or 7 feet, perfect for a dwarf. It now goes up to about 11 feet tall. There are sconces with candles set about 6 feet off the ground, so this entire place, whereas before it was kind of dim, very well lit.
Ah, it's too bright in here.
The floor, you realize is all the original floor, still beer stained, and that large stone circle where you had fought Gimgam Grindstone all those weeks ago.
Gim
Wait,
gim.
it's not. Yeah.
Gim gim.
It's not.
I went back and I
Grunt-
checked.
It's not grunt gut.
Nope.
No.
I went back and I checked my notes.
Yeah, don't.
Doesn't mean that's
I
not
have-
what you called him.
Yeah. No, grunt gut was someone else.
Oh.
Gim gam. Ah,
Yes, grunt gut is
Gim
somebody
Gam.
else.
Gim gam. Ah, Gim
You would remember Gimgam, this kind of gruff dwarf, and he is in fact there. When you look up in that little VIP section that he had sort of taken post in, he is up there. And as you walk in, you can see he kind of turns, same grumpy black hair, balding on top, this big bushy mustache with those like 4 braided bits of beard that come down with these little
Very
gold
big bushy
fasteners.
beard.
It's not bushy, it's actually braided in, so it's
A
quite
very
refined.
big braid of beard.
His eyes open a little bit wider, and he immediately, the chair scrapes on the ground, and he, like, as much as he ever runs, because he's very stiff in the way that he moves, he kind of hobbles down the stairs and comes up and gives you the dwarven equivalent of a hug, which is like one of those Viking kind of handshakes.
Hey, Gim gam.
Gunter,
Hey.
what have you been?
It's been a time. I need a drink first.
Well, come on, I'll get you your first one. There's been a lot that's happened here, and we owe a lot of
Ah,
it to
looks
you
like
folks.
it. It's
it
too
seems.
bright. It's really bright in here.
I agree with that, but, we're letting in other people now, so
Mouse grab
for the humans and the tall ones, you gotta let them see,
I gotta see you.
He looks a little confused because it doesn't make a lot of sense as a joke. I don't think. But he sort of nods and guides you up to the table. You guys approach, and there is already this big stein of dwarven ale. Dwarven stout, sorry. You can see next to that there is like a glass pitcher. Seems to have some kind of a pale ale, not Proust pale.
Ah.
Oh, they've been deposed.
You also see,
Deposed.
now that you're actually up on the table and you can see these pitchers and things, they are labeled. The pitcher that has this kind of ale in it is labeled Mytherale.
Myth around.
And then the big kind of, it's the size of a pitcher, but it's a stein. is, and now that you're looking at it, and based on where you remember that original chair where Gimgam sits,
Yeah.
you would remember this is sort of his personal stein, but it's just full to the brim with this like dark. You would remember it is homebrew.
Like this.
Yeah, just like that. A little bit more of an amber hue to it, a little less opaque, but very
Barley
similar.
wine.
Yeah, actually looks like a barley wine. Is not a barley wine. You see Gimgam take his, pull up an empty glass, and just pour almost a little bit more than half of it into yours.
All right.
Slides it across to you.
Oh, I'm gonna just down it.
Well, make a Constitution check. You're thirsty, Gunter.
Oh yeah, that's a natural 20.
You down this
thirsty.
whole thing. The entire contents of this glass just disappear into this dwarf. And you don't even feel it. I mean, you slap it down, let out a hearty burp, and you're good to go.
Oh, can we play it? No, I'm just kidding.
I don't mean to rush you, but I do have a question. Do you happen to still have a flair for combat?
Do I? But I don't know.
Do I?
He looks kind of confused again. Well, because there is a new champion. You would have gone for
You're
longer.
not the champion anymore.
Well, you
I came to just. What?
He kind of slides up next to you and puts his arm around you and says, "Don't be obvious." And then he points straight to the bar. And sitting at the bar, you can see this woman,
Dwarves.
long brown hair, human,
Yeah.
wearing these sort of hard to see from behind her because her hair does go down to almost where like the stool meets her, but appears to be wearing. Make a perception check.
That's wait, proficiencies. No. 15?
15.
15.
While you don't make out a lot of the details, there is something about the garb. Although the colors are all wrong and there's no real pattern similarity, reminds you of Shay a little bit. That one
That's E&G.
Got
destroyed me 3 days ago,
weird. Oh, you don't say.
and there's been 2 since.
2? 2 what?
Dwarves, good fighters that could not beat her.
So you're
So
saying
I was thinking, Gunter,
old Gunty's got to come in and make it happen.
do you think you could beat her?
Well, I guess.
Boy, could I? Could I?
Beer hitting you a little hard there, Gunty.
I don't know. I'm getting. I had a rough go of it. It's been a while. I need a break. I was looking to just come and, depose you. I thought that was. You got deposed.
Oh, and it wasn't even close. But I understand. You're going on in years, Gunter, and this is
No,
something.
no,
It's
no,
for a
no.
younger dwarf. I'll find one.
No. You don't get to be 287 years old without getting in a few scraps. I'm sure that if I
He
hyped
stands
you up to myself.
We have a
I'm going,
challenger!
"Oh,
And immediately everybody kind of turns. There are seriously, and you immediately hear coins start hitting like the counter. People are like looking. The woman sitting at the bar, the chair kind of scrapes
All
back.
right, I'm death warding myself. Oh, jeez.
And she turns around. You see a face probably beautiful at one point, although at some points there have been very clearly a broken nose, and probably at least a fracture or some other kind of injury to the jaw where it caves ever so slightly in. You see now her robe's a little bit better. Actually, I'll just put her out there.
Okay.
And I hope you don't mind. I'm not going to put all the patrons out there, although if you really want me to, I can. And if they get involved in combat,
You'll have to. Gunter just grabs all the beards and starts swinging whatever's attached to them.
And so you're currently right here. Grimmerdom's right here. And she begins
Beard
just
pet.
walking over to this circle, eyeing you down. What are you doing?
I'm also gonna give myself warding. No, I'm gonna give myself Oh my gosh. All my
Feel
spells are out of order. Shield of Faith. I'm gonna Shield of Faith myself.
Yeah, why not? Okay.
And just, I'm just like, oh, jeez. I wanted, oh, God. Give me another drink, Gimgam.
So, interesting. Death Ward is not a concentration, correct?
It is not.
Good to know.
Duration of 8 hours.
Fantastic. Wow. Okay. So, what do you do?
I'm telling Gimgam, get me another drink, quick.
I'll get you, Gunther. I'll meet you down at the circle.
No,
And
like-
he heads off and
Oh,
goes
God.
down. You would see him head down to the bar and kind of go over. He and the bartender, which not the same bartender that you would remember,
Ah, different bartender.
but they talk a little bit and point down. The guy slides some beer over to Gimgam. You don't see Gimgam give any coin.
Okay.
Brings it over to the circle, and you can see him. He's just waiting for you. The woman's now there as well.
You're supposed to come back over. Make my way over. I'm gonna go up and just swipe it from Gimgam and chug it, drop it down again. Down the hatch.
Just straight down the hatch.
14 plus 3. So 17.
17, no problem. You pound this beer without getting wasted. This will be Gimgam just for now. It's not actually his. I do have a Gimgam, but that's not him.
He's not blonde.
He's not blonde or a woman, yeah. So,
Does anyone ever call him the Gam?
If you went to
Gunter called him
theater,
something,
you'd be
but I'm not going to
Glam.
bring it back up. He looks very
What?
impressed as you pound the second beer down.
Can we get a censor button?
A what?
Like just a monotone beep
Yeah,
censor button?
yeah, I can do that.
Yeah, he called him something. He called him.
The woman
Really pretty.
is gazing you down. Just
Don't do that to her.
the woman is gazing you down. She's gazing you down. She's staring you down very intently. And there's a moment where, as she does, she kind of crosses her arms and pushes her weight back on her back foot, and she looks, for just a moment, very similar to Shay.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, jeez.
I'm gonna just be like,
She steps into the circle and inclines her head a little bit. And she taps her toe on the very large, almost comically large gunter that has been carved into the circle, despite the fact that you did not earn it. And kind of taps her toes. Is this you?
what? No, this is me.
You're Gunter.
No. Who told you that? Was it Gimgam? Gimgam was always going off.
Gimgam just kind of like, is like, and he leans into you and just goes, be careful, Gunter.
Why'd you do that? Alright.
Because I don't like being beat.
Well, no. God damn.
Let's have a fight! And he like immediately just like smashes the glass against the wall. I need you to roll initiative.
God damn it. Fucking Gimgam.
Good luck, Gunter.
That's 14 because I had no bonuses to my initiative.
That's better than it used to be, though, wasn't
Yeah,
it?
that was good. That was like, I think the second time I've gotten over 10.
Okay. Well, she got 27.
Cool.
I mean, surprise.
Cool. Saw that one coming. Did he just push me into the ring or something?
Did he what?
Did he just push me into the ring?
No.
Okay, so I haven't gone into the ring yet.
You haven't gotten into the ring yet,
Okay,
but she's...
Can I magic her still? Is that against the rules or is it just fisties?
Fisties!
I'll say that you probably remember from the first time it's
It's
just fisties.
It's just fisties.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I thought. 'Cause
Can
it's
I
the fist
magic
off.
her,
Which
or
is
is this
like-
just fisties?
Yes, the only reason why your name is on there is because you just ignored
God.
that rule.
It's just all fisties.
So because you're not in the circle, she is going to take one step forward, and she's going to attempt to grab you. So in this moment, why is this music not playing? Oh, it's just very quiet against the other side. Give me a second. Let me,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I was just a...
Oh, a little bit of
Oh,
bar
this
and
is
brawling.
good. Yeah.
So she steps forward quickly. I mean, like as soon as the glass shatters, she's already across the circle. She's going to attempt to grab you. It's going to be a 21 to hit.
Get over here.
And you do make a strength saving throw. It's actually a contested strength thing. She didn't roll that great.
Lordy, I didn't either. That's an 11.
Yep. So then she's going to grab onto you and haul you back 5 feet into the ring.
Hey, what are you doing? Such an old man like that.
She lets go of you, and she just says, I've heard of you.
What?
She tries to punch you.
What?
There's going to be a... So I haven't used her yet. Oh, I'm sorry. That's going to be a 20 to hit.
Yeah, that's gonna hit. Oh,
Shield of
jeez.
Faith, though?
That is going to
Shield of Faith
be...
doesn't help in that situation.
Okay.
It's going to be 10 points of bludgeoning damage.
Cool. Okay.
And as soon as you feel your head moving, you feel, or you sense that this leg is sweeping around as well. There's going to be a 19 to hit.
That's also a hit. Cool.
And that is only going to be 6
Business.
points of bludgeoning damage. And I need you to go ahead and make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh my god. It's a 7.
You are stunned.
Sure are.
She,
Matches your color.
that does actually. As she steps in,
Gunter
and
is
that
stunning.
it's the first crack with her hand, you recoil, and already her leg is swinging around and slams into your head the other way. Your head rings. Everything goes black for a moment, and even as your vision comes back, I mean, your eyes, like the Gunter eyes, like spinning in their sockets. You are considered stunned until the end of her next turn. Those are her attacks. That is going to be her turn. Gunter, it is now your turn. That is your turn. It is now her turn again. She is going to... Yeah. She's going to make 2 more attacks.
How could you do this to a poor old man?
That is a 17 to hit.
That's a miss.
There you go. So this time... Oh, wait. She has advantage on you because you are stunned.
Yup.
Still a 17. So...
Me, yes.
This time she swings and hits a particularly crusty area of bandages. The bandages themselves taking a majority of the blow from your old man body.
Flaking away.
The second attack is going to be either a 21. It's going to be a 21 to hit.
Yeah, I think that was a hit.
That is going to be 7 points of bludgeoning damage. And as this hand hits you, there's a moment where you're aware of the fact that as it streaks towards you, there is almost this dark pulse in the veins within it. You take an additional 25 points
Jesus.
of necrotic damage.
That's not fair. Hey, she's cheating!
As she strikes you, and like elements, like you feel the fist, something in the fist seems to almost pass into your body. You watch as where she hits you, like she hits you on the arm. Veins underneath the bandages bulge with whatever this energy is, and you see on her own arm they bulge back. You imagine this is causing her damage as well.
Oh, good.
That is the end of her turn. You are not stunned. What would you like to do?
I'll be like, shit! Command.
Tell her to shit.
Okay. What are the components for command?
Verbal.
Just verbal.
Just verbal? Okay.
Oh, shit.
What is the save for that?
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save. Natural 20.
Oh, motherfucker.
Yeah, look, I'll even.
Oh, goddamn.
I believe.
So, as you
Sucks for
make that
me.
command, you just yell shit. Doesn't seem to have an effect.
Alright, I'm gonna move and, I guess, yeah, that's about, I have no good bonus actions for this moment.
Okay. It is her turn. At this moment, after you yell shit at her, she squints her eyes, narrows her eyes ever so slightly. Yeah, she's smart enough. And before this next attack, she just goes, "What are you using magic?"
What?
At this point, she is going
She's
to
using
cast.
magic! Hey! She said she's using magic!
All of a sudden, around you, everything goes dark. You are in an area, as she casts darkness, you are in an area of magical darkness that extends, I'll just say for purposes of this, I mean, it's the whole ring, but let's say
Is she gonna try to kill me?
I mean, you were the one that used magic.
I didn't use magic.
Fucking did. I don't feel bad for
He
anything good you're
tried, but it didn't work, so it's not the same.
As a bonus action, she's going to use
Shit.
Flurry of Blows. That is going to be a natural 20.
Oh, Jesus.
Which, honestly, for
How are
monks, not the worst thing, realistically.
Oh my god. All of her rolls,
I don't know, music
though.
looping, what happened?
All of her
Oh,
rolls have been like,
I think the battle music just doesn't loop for that particular thing.
this is not looking good.
Okay, so that is
Just wanted to
going to...
have a quiet drink and suffering.
And you said, yes, I'll fight
But
someone.
you don't go to the
I didn't
fist
know
hall
it
for
was
a
gonna
quiet
just
drink.
Shut up right away.
No one
There
feels
we
bad
go.
for Gunter. We're
As she
all
darts
established
in,
this.
she buries her fist, like, in between your ribs.
Ah,
you
my
take
spleen.
You take 10 points of bludgeoning damage
Ah,
as something seems to almost crack inside of
my spleen just cracked.
Ew.
you. Within the darkness, you hear Sensei Overcards. It is your turn.
Oh, jeez.
What do you want to do?
I'm gonna smash her with a fucking divine strike.
Just fucking
Okay,
yield,
you are
dude.
in magical darkness, so at the moment you cannot see. You're rolling at disadvantage. You have a vague idea as to where she is. She did just talk to you.
Oh, you might get your buddy.
What are you doing?
The Gam.
What are you doing?
I'm gonna use yeah, I'm gonna divine strike her.
Okay.
Try to punch her with a divine strike.
You're gonna punch her with the divine strike. I love that. Okay, go ahead and roll your attack at disadvantage because you're punching somebody, and also you don't know where she is really.
So magic and fisties.
Yeah, look at that.
I mean, it's only been that for her.
Alright, that's a 12, but I'm gonna use Cord's Blessing.
Okay.
So I get my reaction for a plus 10 to the roll.
Nice. So 22.
Yeah.
Miss.
Mother!
You feel, and just in darkness, it's like nothing was there. You feel like you should have hit her.
Well, I'm gonna run out of the ring and be like, she's cheating! She's cheating!
So from the darkness to this now fairly quiet group of dwarves rushing out from the darkness, you just start yelling, "She's cheating! She's cheating!" That is your turn.
Yep, that's my
I can't do a Gunter voice with my throat like this.
Yeah, don't. Let Gunter do Gunter.
It is her turn. At the end of her turn, this darkness fades. And she is not there. This takes us out of combat.
I guess you won.
What is your passive perception?
15.
In this moment, like recovering from the ringing in your head, the bruises that are already forming on your body from this attack, you go and kind of like reflexively start like rubbing yourself as you often do. And there's something in your bandages.
It's a
It's a shit.
sleight of hand.
It's a turd.
She did it.
She pooped on me.
But it was out of pity. It was out of pity for the failure of your spell. She's like, I'll give him this one.
No?
I don't remember. I just put it back.
She shot in her hand and just placed it in his bandage.
I mean, monks can, right, Shay? Testify,
Monkey
monks can do that.
stuff.
Is this mine or hers?
And reaching into your like in between the bandages, you pull out a small scroll of paper. And glancing on it, it says exactly what it says there. It's hard to really make a lot of sense out of. Although maybe you can make more sense out of it. I don't know. But I would imagine that for Gunter, it doesn't make a lot of sense. And for those of you watching on the stream, the reason that I didn't pull out my crazy map bag was because my handouts and my maps are separate now. Because everybody brought it up every time.
We listen.
Thank you. It's what I really, that's what I'm looking for.
Just thinking.
The crowd is confused, and there are, like, the doors open. There's a couple people that run out to go and look for her. Gim Gam comes up to you. What's happened?
Did you not see?
There was a big thing of darkness, and
Yes, she
then
magic. That disqualification. I'm the champion.
he kind of looks around. I don't think that's how it works. You need to actually finish a fight.
Well, she left. Disqualification. I'm still here.
I think the way that the rules work, there is no champion now, which is the default title.
All right.
but,
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and I challenge the champion No one's there? I guess I
Do
win.
you say you challenge the champion?
No! She's still the champion. Of course it's not gonna work. I'm just... No, I just wanted to drink.
He kind of looks around. Well, it looks like she's gone now, so you might as well.
Alright.
She's weird though, huh?
Yeah, that was not fair. She cheated. Magic. This is cheating, right?
Even more than that, yes. But
If you had told me that magic was on the table, I would have magicked her.
it wasn't. And the thing that you need to understand, Gunther, is I've fought a lot of barroom fights in my life. This is not a barroom fighter.
Oh, I know someone like her.
Who?
You wouldn't know her.
That's probably right.
Yeah.
And he kind of starts drinking again. In this moment, I'm going to shift us over because we're all separated.
Yep.
Was it? I'm trying to remember
No,
which of
I'm
you-
last because I went.
That's true. Yeah. Give me
You
one
went
second.
first.
Well,
I wrote down
you
the order I was
ended
gonna do
after
it in.
mine. Last session ended after me.
Heinrich.
Okay. Hello.
So I'll say, for sake of the game, that you and Tom have figured out your plans.
Yeah.
Despite the fact that we have not figured out what you're going to do with
There's a
the
little bit of a montage of
Yeah, yeah.
me like putting the coins down on the table and then talking and then getting a little more leaning
Put
in.
the paper out and
Roll
you're
out the
drawing
paper,
things out.
sketching, and then
Yeah.
he points and goes, and then.
And there's a part where you're like painting stuff, and then you drop the paint on him, and you both laugh.
Yeah, exactly. It's really cute.
It's a nice, cute little montage.
Yeah.
But yeah, you guys make plans to renovate the Cold Harp a pretty substantial amount.
Little did I know it was now a contending bar uptown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still don't know that.
still don't
For what it's worth.
What do you want to do?
Well, where exactly are we in that discourse or
I'm going to
interaction?
assume that you've finished it because it's really just you and me talking about it outside of the game.
No, that's fine.
It's going to take several months to
Finished
finish
the discussion of it, you mean?
Correct.
Okay, so after that, we kind of sit back down. Kanor's still with us, right?
Yeah, I mean, he's not sitting at the bar with you. He's kind of just been wandering around, like, sat at a table for a little while. He got up. He's just been kind of like moving. He has no real purpose there, so he's just been kind of like
I
hovering.
wanted to kind of include him in that, though.
Yeah, but you guys aren't like really. I mean,
All right.
sure, you were including him.
Yeah,
so he's sitting
he's
there
my
with
buddy.
you. Why
He's my
not?
fucking buddy.
Why not?
It's like, oh shit, what do you guys think?
This week
What's
on Heinrich makes a friend.
yeah, versus The Sims. What do you guys think? Things is gonna work?
Tom looks up to you. Well, I don't see why not. It's the live music will help. We're
Yeah.
gonna need to figure out a way to stay open or do something during construction.
Sure, this is true. I didn't even consider.
And it's gonna cost an amount. I'll get in touch with some people and see what the timetable will be, and we can figure out what we're gonna need to get through that time.
Okay. Well, that's good. That's good. Who are these people? Are they good people? Trustworthy?
Yeah. I mean, so you would probably actually know the person that he is going to refer you to. I was just gonna go down to the Port Quinn General and talk to. Now that I have this great Port Quinn, the Pulse of the North City guide,
Oh yeah,
available now on all of our social media for free.
I read it today. It's great.
You also have the cute brochure.
Oh yeah, from Far Sharks.
Looking for work.
Did you guys ever figure out the hidden message in that brochure?
You pointed it out to me.
I told.
Yeah.
I'm not going to give you guys handouts for no reason.
Yeah.
I never saw it. So.
What?
Every map that you
I couldn't
every,
read it.
Every single map and or handout that you guys have gotten has had something in it.
Something at least important, like the snail.
Well, like this poem
You
that's
and Gunter got it.
conspicuously
Oh,
for
that's true. Yes.
not good
Never saw
for
it.
Yeah, when he was wooing the old woman.
The Port General,
Yep.
which you would remember is this modest grocery store primarily. However,
Yeah.
on the outside they do have a whole bunch of different kind of like carpentry supplies
Sure.
and things like that.
Yeah, it's just like the farmer's market. Everyone who works in the fields outside brings their stuff in.
Yup,
and
exactly like
big ol' amalgamation of local work.
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
And so
I read it.
he was just going to head over there and figure out who was available and kind
Okay.
of go from there. But
Cool.
Tom has lived in Port Gwyn his whole life, so
For sure.
he definitely knows who
I mean,
he's
and I
talking
would
to.
trust him with that too, because I feel like I've been drinking here, and he's always been here too.
Yeah,
Like growing up, and
for
I
literally
probably
since
had my
bef-
first illegal beer here.
the drinking
Oh my god, so it's like
age-
Franco's.
Kinda.
There isn't a minminimum drinking age in the Kingdom of
I
Satan.
had my first really way too young for my developmental mind here.
Yes. 100%.
All right.
More accurate.
You
So we'd probably chat about that for a bit. Like, oh yeah, I mean, any good work, good laborers there recently, huh? I mean, we've been away for a little while, but I've always trusted that place.
well, we did, but over the last couple of weeks, it's been pretty hectic. And up north, there's a lot of things happening. We've had goblin raids, goblin raids coming through the farmlands. Kobolds amongst them, which generally means that there is something bigger steering them, because those two don't typically work together. To the south, the bandits have gotten significantly worse.
Shade Forest.
Yeah, that would be the direction of the Shaded Forest.
God damn it. Well, I mean, that's troubling indeed. I mean, to be fair, we just kind of came from something that echoes like that. We're, can I level with you, Tom? I've known you for a while.
Okay.
Maybe giving you this info might help spread it out in a way that be more helpful. Get it a little faster.
He like
out than,
leans over the counter and looks beyond you to Kanor.
Well, once,
and then
uh,
looks back to you.
once this
Is he-
place
is
gets
he,
up and going.
Is he cool?
And I look at Kanor. You're cool. I know you're cool.
Kanor's like, yeah, I guess if Heinrich says I'm cool, I'm cool.
I mean, you are cool because you've been with me and you've seen what I'm going to tell him, and that's basically we think that coming from the Sunrest Isles, where we just were. Well, I think something really dangerous and big awoken from possibly a
You see Kanor's eyes go wide. He goes, "Oh, we're going there."
yeah, I just wanted to start warning. I mean, fuck, we're in my hometown, and if we made it here in this time, those things were on wings. I don't want to see my hometown destroyed. I want to start letting people know. I think I might even head up to the castle after this and
Tom
start
is just kind of like,
dragons. Wyverns and dragons, maybe. Definitely at least wyverns. I know this sounds fucking crazy.
Come to think of it,
There was that rumor.
we've had a lot of dwarves come in from Koltaram lately, and
That rumor, right?
I thought you said
Well,
boomer.
so what I've heard from them
Okay,
is that
rumor.
there is this like a maybe a dragon that would make sense clawing its way out, but from below.
You talk so casually about this. This is fucking terrifying.
I don't.
That's previous age shit. It's before we were around.
That's why I don't put a lot of stock into it. I'm
I
sure
saw it
there's
with my fucking eyes, dude. I don't say dude.
the
I say
underground.
not the underground. No.
Boomer.
It's really hard to explain everything we've been through, and honestly, I try not to think too much about it because it would pain me too much to think about it. But
I got something for that. And he walks around the side of the bar and
I'm
comes
kinda
back
just like-
with the dwarven steps.
I feel like, yeah, I just kind of like grab it and just, yeah. So I think it's actually true. The previous ages and all that. We've seen some stuff. We've been some places. Anyways,
I
what
don't
are the
know a
rumors
lot
from
about
the
the previous ages. I didn't really go to school.
Sure,
You know.
yeah. Dragons, then giants, then us. It's kind of the
The
trans
three
the
three
progression.
ages. That makes sense.
Sure, yeah. So with that in mind, something about this just seemed really off. You know what? Doesn't matter. What did you hear? What have you heard about more recent things that have been happening? Because when we left, there was rumors of a dragon or something, and we thought it was just the goblin raids or whatever. But if it's still going on, I mean, 2 months later, that must be some.
Oh, there's worse things than that going on.
Well, like what?
The mess that there was a couple of people who cleaned out old Tweelightfoot. You've been gone for a while. Tweelightfoot was in some kind of cult business, it turns out, and there was a group of adventurers that called themselves the Finger Gang.
That's terrible.
Yeah, and you see Kanor immediately just doesn't really know what to say.
I just want to, just so you know, I'm letting him talk as much as possible to gain what his opinion on them is before
Sure.
I maybe
Yeah, I kinda
don't
figured.
say anything. So just please continue.
They call themselves the Finger Gang, which is unusual, I would assume.
Sounds very crude.
Well, I was talking to Francis, one of the guards, and he was on the detail that was cleaning up the mess that they left behind. And I guess there was a lot of bodies in the sewers. They managed to get most of them out, and they were piling them in the temple, and they were going to deal with them there. And I guess something attacked in there. So
In the temple.
yes, they've chained it off. It's off limits now.
Inaccessible. Really? What was in there? What were the rumors about the thing that attacked them?
I don't know. Apparently it killed one of the guards. So something at least very dangerous.
Okay.
You might ask somebody who either... he seems to kind of think, what is that place? The Silk Patio.
Sure.
It's like a cafe across the street.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
You might ask him. He sees every day what's going on there. You could ask one of the town guards, perhaps,
Yeah.
if you wanted to
Would
know more.
the Red Shield have gotten involved in this, do you think, or no?
Oh, no.
They stay outside and
They
all
typically...
mind their own.
Yes, I mean, they bought their seat on the Merchant Council, I think, mostly to keep other competitors away. They don't really care that much about the port.
The city in and of itself. That's fair.
Right.
I mean, it's not, but okay. That's the world we live in.
It is.
What's the name of the guy who works the Silk Patio? I probably know that. I don't know. Would I know that?
I forget.
I'm off. Yeah, Tom. I think. What time is it right now, actually, in the game?
Probably about 1:30 in
1:30
the
in the
afternoon.
afternoon. Okay. You know, I think I might head over that way. Maybe first to. What would make more sense? Would it make more sense to go straight to the general store?
General Story would literally be on the way to Silk Patio.
Would it be? Would I kind of surmise it would be easy enough to go find people, or should I let Tom do that? What would be wiser? Since he's
In
been
terms
here,
of
he's
our
been here
stream,
longer.
probably let Tom do it.
That's all I'm gonna do. I'm gonna let
Yeah.
Tom go do that after he closes up tonight or whatever.
Yeah.
So instead, I'm gonna go to Silk Patio.
Sounds good. You proceed off in the direction of the Silk Patio. Shay,
Yes.
you are up on the top of the bank.
Just beyond the obvious glyph, there's nothing else there other than the appearance of somebody landing there.
Make an investigation check.
Yay. That is 19.
Getting in close and looking at the imprints in the snow, specifically where the feet landed, you notice, looking at it, the imprint in the left foot a little bit deeper, but it looks as if it slid a little bit, almost as if... Really hard to tell.
Okay.
As if there was some other kind of movement here.
Sure.
Kind of looking through, you don't see any feathers, you don't see anything else especially that would mark or be of interest to you.
Okay. Gonna quickly scratch into the snow. I'll write it out for you.
Okay.
And then make my way down.
Coded or not?
Yes.
Okay.
And in Zinni. The biggest thing is going to be to try and gain information. So I'm going to go wander through the busy parts of town, primarily listening for strangers in weird clothing, odd occurrences that have happened.
Okay. So you're listening, you're just trying to mine information of the town.
Yes.
Sure.
In a way that, like, I'm not necessarily going around attempting to draw attention to myself, but
You're looking for
understanding
conversations to get near.
that I might provoke some of those conversations given the way that I'm dressed.
Okay.
So,
Sure. So you're not disguising yourself, but you're not trying to draw interest to yourself either.
correct.
Go ahead and make a survival check.
15.
What information are you looking for? Or pertaining to what? Just strange occurrences especially? Or
Strange occurrences, especially any sort of indication of movement, particularly to and from the north, even more specifically, people dressed similarly,
Okay.
but kind of the whole gambit.
It takes you only about 15 minutes to find a conversation that is very interesting to you. You pass running up into like the market from the direction of where you remember the dwarven quarter to be.
Yep.
A pair of dwarves who are kind of like jogging when they get to you. They're a little bit out of breath at this point, and they stop. And as you're kind of passing by, the thing that you would hear that would probably be most important to you is, I guess she just vanished into darkness. Let's go back to the Fistall. And they turn around and head back to the Dwarven Quarter. You would also hear, kind of, before that probably, in terms of the strange goings-on, to the west, you do overhear like a couple sitting just out in like the town square on the edge of the fountain that's in the center.
Sure.
You hear, not fountain, well, you hear them talking about Thousand Gates.
Yep.
And evidently, there was a period of about 3 days where things got real bad, and there were these just waves of creatures coming out of the swamp. And it's been quiet ever since. Not Thousand Gates. Thousand Gates has not been quiet. Thousand Gates is fine. They have not seen any attacks since then, which is unusual. Usually there's some kind of creature emerging like every week, usually, give or take.
Sure. I'm gonna follow those dwarves.
Okay. You follow them back
following.
in the direction
Dwarf,
of
dwarf stalking.
the Dwarven Quarter.
Dwarf
I'm going to get
stalking.
back to that in a second because that's going to bring you to Gunter. Morwen, you, Sade, and Tinsbury are heading towards Rose House.
Yay!
So you make your way over to the living quarters where she lived. You see her house, as far as you can tell, fairly unchanged.
I'm gonna peek in the window, see if anyone's in there.
It's dusty.
All right, I take out my key because I never gave that up. I only gave Ezra the keys to the store, and I open that bitch open.
Open it open. You leave to go leave.
You open the door, and as you step in, like even the door opening, there's a little bit of dust that comes out with it. Nobody's been in here, it would seem. Make a perception check as you walk in.
Okay, a 22.
Oh. You begin to cast your gaze across the room, but then immediately, you remember pretty vividly being here. It was like you
We
first
had some moments.
you had some moments. You had good times with Ro, and you immediately your eyes are drawn to the table because there is something on the table that was not there before. You see little, well,
Yeah?
nope.
Oh. Picture? Snails?
Little piece of paper, and it's wrapped
Oops.
around an object. It's a
Do you
little,
mean to?
Yep.
Okay.
And as you open it, there's this other little thing. You would also notice that there is a parcel next to it.
Ooh, gifts! May I take a second to read this?
Yes, you may.
Okay.
The parcel itself, wrapped in linen, probably it's fairly large. Probably about 2 feet long, foot wide. It's a big box, and it seems to be wrapped in like butcher paper.
It's a bomb. All right, give me a second. Or it's a horde of bees. Personal fear: opening a box and finding a horde of bees.
You like subconsciously
Not a swarm,
land in,
but a horde.
and you don't hear any buzzing. It's probably not bees.
Okay.
Shake it a little.
Your glass shattered. It was your Christmas ornaments. And if you can't read that, it is in cursive, so I'm happy to read parts of it for you. Because my handwriting isn't that good, and I tried to make nice handwriting for Ezra, but I can't do something that I can't do. While we're doing that, while you're reading that, Shay, you make it over to the dwarven quarter. You watch the two
This
dwarves
is kind of nice.
disappear into the fist hall. The dwarven quarter, much like Gunter observed, is very different. And there are still dwarves that kind of like look at you as you come in. Not nearly as hostile as it was the first time. You remember going to the bar, like waiting for almost half an hour, not getting served.
Yeah.
Feels a little bit less aggressive.
Yep.
Do you unwrap the package?
I can wait, but
No,
yeah.
this is still going on, but I just want to pass you that. One.
What?
I was gonna do it carefully in case it's a bomb.
It's not.
What time of day is it?
Woo!
It's about 1:30 in the afternoon.
It's a box of bees.
It's so nice.
Don't say anything yet because I'm going to describe it when we get
Okay.
back to you.
I'm gonna walk in.
Okay. You enter. There is no bouncer, as there was before.
Yep.
You are not the only non-dwarf here. There is what looks like a human also sitting at the bar. You do see Gunter, who is like kind of shakily holding a beer. He has like bruises already forming on his face, which like not that
Shocker.
Not at this point. Gunter always has bruises on him, so it's kind of hard to tell if
Right.
it's different.
You check the time, you're like, that's a little bit later in the day than normally that
No,
happens.
he's doing good.
It's fine.
Gunter slept in. Yeah. What do you want to do?
I'm going. Where is Gunter?
Gunter at the moment has returned up into that little like VIP section to the top left. So like when you walk in and you look to your left, he's there, but about 6 feet up.
With Gimgam.
For you, you are short enough that it is not narrow, but you now are realizing, you as a human more than Gunter realized, this VIP section, still designed because the ceiling is only 11 feet tall.
Yep.
This is designed for like really, it's not going to be comfortable if you're not a dwarf.
No.
But without problem, you're only 5'2", which is the same height as Gunter.
I slouch though. I slouch.
Right. Yes.
I'm actually gonna slide up to the bar.
Okay. You sit down.
I sit out.
Refusing
Dwarf
to
that is
reunite.
there walks over to you, kind of looks you up and down. Is there like a club of you guys here?
Not that I'm aware, but do continue.
Never mind. Can I get you a drink?
Yeah. Get me whatever's popular right now.
Oh, we've got just the thing. And he turns around and he pours out this deep, heavy stout and kind of hands it to you.
This club you mentioned.
I mean, you just said you're not a part of it, so it's
May not be a part of it, but I'm always curious.
it's just the way you're dressed. There was a woman in here earlier, and she beat the shit out of that one. And he kind of points up to where Gunter is, and you see Gunter like nursing a beer.
I'm not nursing it. I'm like,
Oh yeah, he's just down on a beer. But she was dressed kind of like you, different colors.
Could you describe her?
Well, if you look at the shirt that you're wearing,
Beyond that. Face.
it's that, but black and purple. The face, hair, long brown hair, sort of broken-looking face, brown eyes. I think. Honestly, didn't pay that much attention. I didn't want to make eye contact with her when she was sitting at the bar, but pretty intense.
I take that fight that beat up that oldish-looking gentleman.
That's a dwarf.
Yeah. So I figured. Pretty intense, yeah?
Him?
No, the fight.
Not really.
Oh?
Everything went dark for a moment, and then he came out all he kind of looks over and makes sure that Gunter and Kim Gamer are up there. He's basically just crying that she cheated in this fight and it wasn't fair and that he was the champion. And then he challenged the empty room and obviously so it was pretty pathetic actually. It wasn't that much of a show. And like I said, I couldn't see much of it because this big dark dome came down.
That's disappointing. Did you by chance see where she went?
So the thing about this big dark dome is you can't see through it,
I got that
which is
part.
why we couldn't see the fight.
Got that part.
And then when I went away, she wasn't there, so
Oh.
didn't see where she went,
That's a
unfortunately.
step you missed. But alright, no. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, let me know if you need a refill. And he kind of moves on down the line. Morwen, going back to you as you unwrap the butcher paper kind of parchment. Inside of it
It's exciting.
is kind of disappointingly at first this very mundane looking studded leather
They're
armor.
gonna say a bomb.
No.
Okay.
Very mundane studded leather armor, although quite clean. And as you touch it, there is this sensation of magic.
Oh, should I? No, oh, is it my turn now?
I mean, you can. You don't need attunement for it. So by touching it, even in touching it, I would say you get the sensation. It's this excited feeling, and for just a
I'm very
moment,
excited.
you're transformed. You're transformed back to the last time that you guys went shopping, and you and Thistle and Gunter all got your different clothes. There is this kind of like that shopping rush almost, and then it subsides. But in that moment, you get the sense that this set of armor, with just a word, you could change how it appears.
I change into it.
Okay.
In front of everyone.
I mean,
Yeah.
Sade's gonna be shy about it, fine, but
Sade does not turn
Thistle-
away.
Oh my god, Tinsbury, we have a past. I mean, he's seen some cat butt. I didn't wear pants until recently, so it's not.
So
totally
as you are undressing, neither Sade nor Tinsbury look away. They're both kind of casually talking just about the voyage over here and where they were hoping to go next and stuff like that. Tinsbury is talking a little bit about the Hound John and some of the other members aboard the ship, talking
Excuse me,
about
the
the
what?
The Hound John.
Yeah,
Hound John?
the person who originally found you,
Oh.
and his two dogs. Which is why he's called the Hound John, because it's John who has the hounds. You kind of passively overhear this in your excitement. They don't seem too abashed by this, but you put it on. Still looks like just plain studded leather.
Does it have charges?
No, you can change it as much as you want.
Really? Wow, you guys.
Okay.
I change it into looking like solid gold. I go, ta-da!
And as you say, the command word canonically now is ta-da.
Ta-da. Oh, shit. Just imagine you're sneaking into some place you need to blend in. You're like,
You go ta-da, and as you do, the leather itself, the little studs,
That's so great.
go from silver to gold, and the gold spreads out over the leather. And within just a second, the entire thing is gleaming like the golden fleece from the Argonauts. This shining, gleaming gold leather. And whereas Sade and Tinsbury had not looked away, they are now staring gape mouth
thank you.
Sade is the first person to recover, and she just kind of goes, Captain, what is this?
'Tis a gift.
Can you make?
It's armor.
Yes, I see that. Can you make gold?
No, but I can make other things. And I go, ta-da!
And what are
And
you-
now it's gonna look,
Just made of boobs.
like
Made of butts. It's just made of butts.
No, it's gonna be a bunch of beetles.
Oh, wow.
Go, ta-da! And those little studs, all of a sudden, little legs grow out of them, and they begin crawling, and more pour out of the studs until the whole thing
Fucking
freezes
terrifying.
into just a carapace of individual beetles,
Carapace of
all
carapaces.
fused together.
Come together.
And
No, I'm just
Tinsbury
kidding.
immediately,
Wow. Whoa. Very good.
Tinsbury immediately kind of almost throws up. Sade just kind of furrows her one brow and just
No. Ta-da! And I'm wearing the exact same thing Sade is wearing.
she looks down at herself and looks over at you. I am getting the picture now. So this armor, it can change to look like anything.
Ta-da! Now it looks like Sade's face.
Where are her eyes?
You know.
Hey, my eyes.
The red
her
on the
eyes
vest.
are here.
The red on the vest like swirls into like the eyes and all this
God.
stuff. And it's just Sade's face like looming off of your chest.
That's wonderful and terrifying.
Sade just goes, this brings us many advantages, but could you just change that, please?
Ta-da! It's it's now my own face.
Sade just goes,
No, you know what? It's not my face. It's an image of me going ta-da with her face on it.
So you just like hold on. So you just like Macaulay Culkin, Ryan Gosling t-shirt
Myself,
swapping?
yes.
Sade just turns and just says, I will be outside. And she just opens the door and like leaves.
Holy shit! All right.
Tinsbury now kind of like hops up off the counter he was sitting on and goes, wow, Morin, we could do so many cool things with that.
I know.
Oh, can you do me?
Ta-da!
And it's just Tinsbury's face. Look, the exact same like expression and everything that he's making right now. And he just goes, ha, ha, it's perfect.
I hate this.
Yeah, no, I'm so upset that I did this now.
No, it's great.
In my mind,
But
I
it's
was
awful.
like, cool. Like,
She'll use it to like blend in.
well, I was thinking about like through
It's
the course,
fucking
through
Morrowind.
the course of all of this, most of what Morrowind has been looking for has been pants or hats or other like clothing.
Right. So this is all clothing.
And so one of the things that you do
Because
as
I
a
didn't
DM,
tell you about the bug suit.
no, that's upsetting. That's gonna be the art for this week.
Scared of bees, not beetles.
Yeah. Anyhow,
Yeah. So sorry that you tried to give her something that was very kind and she used it against you.
I knew it was coming. I didn't think it would be this. I had different thoughts.
How
But
many tick marks is that worth on her?
none. It wasn't that bad.
Okay.
There was a
Finished that
pun.
I'm
like a
kidding.
while
It was,
ago.
yeah, that's true.
Well, there's a Beatles pun, kind of. But.
Very quickly, shifting over to you, Heinrich.
Oh, okay.
What are you doing now?
So heading to the silk patio,
Okay.
looking for information on that. Ultimate goal, just so you know and you're aware, is to find out as much information as possible. If you wanted to fast track it or actually roll it out, that's fine.
So it depends on
And
how
then meet
you
up with
wanna-
everyone else, and then. Well,
So
you know what?
you
Let's
could-
get information first. Let's
Okay.
just do that part.
So if you wanted, you could make a survival check just to walk around town, much like Shaded, and try
Uh-huh.
to just kind of feel the pulse of this.
Oh,
town.
my! I mean, this is my hometown. My ears are fucking open
Yeah.
all the time because I want to know and feel all the changes that have happened.
So make a survival check at advantage.
Right.
This is your hometown.
Home turf. Oh, well, natural 20.
Natural
Can't beat that. So that is a 20, 21.
You're a number of things, and I'm going to pull up deep lore for this because
Mm-hmm.
you earned it.
I ain't inside. I feel like I would have pulled my my like shawl a little tighter around as I'm walking through.
Sure.
Is my breath visible in the air and the afternoon air? Blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
I mean,
Visual
yeah.
prettiness of winter because I
Absolutely,
fucking
it's
love
it's
winter
not
as
snowing.
a human being.
There is this kind of fresh snow that now at about like 2 in the afternoon, 2:30, mud is beginning to like track
Alright.
into it and stuff, but still on the rooftops, fresh and mostly untouched. Mostly.
I breathe in deep, inhalation of satisfaction and like happiness in a weird way to be home, kind of after these changes, the things that I've left behind me, kind of coming back here.
You hear a number of things.
21
hear-
things.
No, about 6.
Uh,
You hear that to the west in
violence.
Darkmoor,
Uh-huh.
a volcano has just risen out of the ground
Just like out of fucking nowhere.
11 days ago.
Okay. How long
You-
ago did we leave from?
11 days ago.
Okay, thought so.
You hear, and now a little bit more confirmation on this. You do hear a dwarf saying that there is what is called a deep dragon in Kol Turam.
Is that familiar to me?
No,
That's new lore
maybe something
for me.
Well, so as you listen to him talk,
Mm-hmm.
a deep dragon, he goes into it because you rolled a natural 20.
Yeah.
A deep dragon hasn't been seen since the first age.
Mm-hmm.
Entirely myth,
Yeah.
it was thought.
That's the essence of the planet kind of shit.
Yes, it emerged
That's
into
the word, right? I don't know.
it emerged into the deep mine, cutting off the mithril mines.
Shit.
Coltram has called for aid, and Stoneflow and Dungannon are both responding. It seems,
Stoneflow and Duncan.
and Dungannon.
What I remember, Stoneflow is
Stoneflow
where
is-
roughly where Shay's monastery is.
Coltram is actually closer to the monastery than Stoneflow is.
Stoneflow is farther north.
Stoneflow is east. So all of these things actually exist almost on a flat plane.
Oh, okay.
Monastery, Coltaram, Stoneflow,
Uh-huh.
and
And then
then
Port Quinn's like...
Porquin.
Yeah, okay. Curve south.
So you hear that Stoneflow and Dungannon are responding, and you would know Dungannon's like on the west coast.
So
For them to be responding,
pretty fucking big deal.
yeah.
Yeah, all right.
And Dungannon also doesn't. They don't have. They're not part of the Kingdom of Serendil. They're not part of the Dwarven Alliance. They're not part of any of these groups. They typically keep to themselves. So for them to be stepping in, pretty substantial. You also hear that over in. Where are we here?
Are they
Over
talking
in
about
the-
this? Sorry, are they talking about this in the way of like, this is now new common knowledge, or is this just like the first wave of news hitting this coast?
It seems like
or
it's-
this area.
It's hitting this area like pretty freshly, because he's telling it to this other dwarf in a way that sounds like he's not familiar with it.
Right, like a yo, dude.
You also hear that up to the north in the Lorebinder Academy, there was some kind of a strange thing brought there. This large metal chest. You also would hear.
By their description, can I key in on? Can I like zoom in on that a little bit? Conversationally, does it sound like the reliquary that I was carrying? Okay.
You would also hear that a huge bird has been spotted 3 times. Once would roughly align to the time where Croddock left, heading back from Far Shore and then up into the north.
Croddock, didn't he meet us in Abyss, or
Yeah.
that he also
So
met
he-
us down in?
No. So he originally. So the way that. He flew from. For Aarakocra, they can't fly the whole distance in one shot. So he could have either gone to Stoneflow and then to the Glass Lighthouse and then to Far Shore, or what he did do was he flew to Port Quinn because that's where he thought Shay was.
Right.
And then went to Biss, not thinking that that's where she was going to be as a stopover
Found
for Far
her.
Shore.
Okay, gotcha.
So it seems as though that was Croddock, and then that he flew back again towards Sunrest, and then about 3 days ago was seen heading north again.
Okay, which tracks with all the
Yes.
stuff. Okay.
Yeah. You also hear to the north, by some crossroads, there are like an increase in goblin raids. You would hear that the dwarves in the refugee district have actually managed to buy Twee's old seat on the merchant council.
So that's 2 dwarves on the council now.
Only one dwarf. She was.
What was?
Hightaker is a human. He's a very short human.
No, I know Hightaker, but the other. Wasn't there someone else?
There's 5 members of the council.
Right, and Twee held one, and there was also at the same time another one representing the dwarves, right?
No, nobody was representing the dwarves. This is the first representation that the refugee dwarves have had.
Okay.
The other members were the daughter. Oh, so the last rumor that you hear, the person who owns Proust Pale Ale has stepped back in as the person running the business, as his daughter very suddenly took a sabbatical.
Okay.
You hear other things less important. You hear somebody's dog died. And you hear little bits of, for them.
Yeah.
You hear little bits and pieces, nothing relating to you. But that's the majority of what you get.
Okay. Well, shit. Okay. So do I reach the silk patio?
Yeah, so you come up to the silk patio, big, rounded, circular part, just glass panes stretching all the way up into a dome.
That's where the birth of Goldschlager was, right?
Yes.
Canonically, the elven leaf.
Yep.
Tea,
Gold
tea
leaf tea, yeah.
Oh man, we haven't been there since that time.
Since
And you can
Goldschlager,
see-
which was literally last spring in real life.
The way in which the counter for this cafe goes, the person standing behind it, this dwarf, red mustache, no beard, so very strange. Fairly short hair, very neatly swept back, wearing very fine clothing. At the moment, seems to just be stirring something in a little saucer. But he would have perfect line of sight to Helm's Temple. And now, kind of turning and looking, you can see there are 2 thick 3Cs chains
It's a
that have
butt and a
been
half.
laid across the door and keep it secure. There's a large, about this big padlock.
Oh, in Helm's
Helm's
Temple.
Temple.
Okay, gotcha.
I've been wondering.
From this distance, while still walking, first preemptive glance, can I notice anything else?
Make a perception check.
Just based on the fact that we
What
did
is he
spend
gonna
some
do
time
if
going
they-
to and from it, and also the traumatic experience of killing someone who I used to think growing up here was
was like
a
a
member
hero,
of the
yeah.
council
And
and
he
like
was
a helpful person, and turned out to be a piece of shit with a really funny accent.
What'd you say about me?
That's a fail. That's a crit one. Natural one.
Nice.
But if you want to give me the number, instead it is my passive of 11.
Okay. You don't see smoke rising from the braziers, and
Sure.
outside of that,
Right. It's
it's empty.
It
and the last time that
follows
you saw
what
it,
Tom told me, basically.
100%. Yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine. All right. So I enter in
Okay.
all the way.
The little bell kind of rings as you walk in. There's only one other person. There's 4 tables here. It's a very small cafe.
Yep.
There's only one other person sitting in there.
Mm-hmm.
They look up briefly from this book that they're reading, and then they look back down. The owner looks up to you, Fittig, if you remember him, and just kind of smiles at you.
Mm-hmm.
Could I get you something?
Yeah, sure. And I take a seat at the bar and. What are you offering? What do you have available?
So many things. Let me bring you something to look at. And he reaches underneath, and he pulls out.
I have an idea.
Yeah.
You pick for me. How about something with a little bit of a calming, soothing atmosphere to it, if that makes sense.
And you see this kind of long, almost like a wooden menu that's been burned in, kind of flick through his fingers, and he slides it back under the counter.
Mm-hmm.
I can do that. Turns around, and you see, reaches in and pulls out this metal drawer, and there are carefully partitioned sections with different bits of leaves and different colors. The aroma, even from across the bar, and then
I
5
was about to
back,
say I'm breathing that in.
it's floral and pungent and delicious. There's notes of very confusing because it's many different types of teas
anything that doesn't
separated.
smell like salt air, I'm so happy to smell.
Yeah. And he begins the process, and eventually he comes back with this it's a glass mug, and it is full of this pale yellow-green liquid. You see as he holds puts it right in front of you, reaches under the counter and pulls out a little. It's like a miniature mason jar, the top removed of sugar, and places that down. And he takes a little saucer. He goes around the corner. You don't quite see where he goes, and he comes back with a little pitcher of milk and pours that into the saucer. Will you be needing anything else?
Well, actually, maybe a spot of conversation. Well, I'm from here originally. I don't know if you remember me.
I do. Yes, you were in a couple of months ago.
Yes. It's been since then. What happened up to Helm's Temple? I just noticed.
People finally listened to me. I don't know if you remember, but the last time that you were here, I think you were answering, actually. Oh, I'm so excited to get to tell you this. There was a group of people who came in, and they were investigating, just like you, these disappearing bodies in Port Quinn. And it seems that Dr. Lightfoot was the person taking them. Some kind of a cult beneath his temple.
Now, why is it boarded off if he's been arrested?
Looks around furtively. About 5 days ago, they were getting ready to move the bodies out. I heard there was a good number of them. And I heard a scream. Guards began pouring out of the temple, and ever since, nobody's gone back.
And no word from those people what they saw. There's no description.
They denied that it ever happened.
This may be too much to ask, but did they seem in their right mind?
You would remember that Vidig is a little bit of a conspiracy theory guy.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what was your question?
But did they seem did they have their wits about them? Did they? The way that you're describing it just makes me think that were they of their own mind at the time? And when they denied it, were they trying to just pretend like it never happened, or did they not remember it?
Yes.
I think there's something still going on in there.
Well, I mean, if it's still boarded up, do you know who issued the boarding up of the temple?
The Merchant Council.
Who is currently sitting right now? I assume
Lord
Hightaker
of
is still
course,
there.
is
Yes.
the chief, the head of the Merchant Council,
Yeah.
as he was when you were last here. Percival Proust has taken over his daughter's place. Barton Minotaur, I don't know if you know of the red shields.
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah.
He
I'm
runs.
sure
the
they
Red
wouldn't
Shields.
leave. They paid a pretty penny to put him on there. I don't know why he would walk away.
He did. And then the new elected dwarf from the refugee district, although I believe they're now calling it the Dwarven district,
Oh, that's totally fair.
is a Gilda. And she is...
A Gilda?
Gilda.
Gilda. Okay.
And she's wonderful. I think she's done unbelievable things for Port Quinn already, for dwarves.
That's 4. Is there a 5th? Was that actually 4? Was that 5? Did I just count wrong? So Hightaker, Prouse, Gilda, and the Red Shield.
And Percival. Oh, Proust.
Yeah.
Percival Proust. Who did I miss? I said Proust.
No one else knew, basically, is kind of what it...
No, nobody knew. No, the
Right.
only new person
Only
is
the-
Gilda.
Okay, gotcha.
Well, the other person is Tannic. But they're,
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
Obviously, very important.
yeah.
Right,
I mean,
clearly.
well, yeah. Very. I mean, you guys. He's the steward. I mean, you guys talked to him.
Yeah. And Hightaker was the one that we dealt with initially.
No, the steward was the one that you initially dealt with the first day, where Hightaker was out getting his tea.
Right. But when we had that whole like interaction in the room when Gunter was arrested, or someone was arrested.
Correct.
Who was arrested? Gunter was arrested.
It was Gunter.
Yeah.
Who do you think was arrested?
Yeah, I don't even know why I questioned
That's
that. Well,
when
it
I
could have been
started-
you.
Dropped. It's
That's when I
fine.
started making encounter maps for a jail in every single city.
Well,
ever
encounter
since
maps
then.
for anywhere a conversation could take place. You
You
mean?
gotta start jails. Is what you're saying.
Okay. All right. Well, you know what? I guess
Plenty.
because I just can't really, without really having like all the info literally in front of me, I feel like I would try to just sort of prod every angle of like things that this guy may have heard about what happened in the temple, like what is going on in there. If there's any description of something, because I'm getting the sense that like if people just ran out screaming and no one was actually hurt, right?
Asking about it, it doesn't seem like he knows how many people went in. He wasn't paying like super close attention to people going in and out, but he did notice the scream and he noticed people running out.
All right. Is there anyone who's been looking into clearing it out or getting the temple up and running? I mean, it's a epicenter of culture and morality. I feel like that would be a pretty important thing to.
I brought it up because I don't want a chained building across the street from
Well,
my
that also, of
establishment.
course, yeah, I know, real estate and all that.
But what I was given as an answer was that with the in the District of Lords, there was the Quarter of Lords. There's already a shrine to the Six, and so they didn't need a temple just to helm right away.
Okay, sure, but
They said to wait until after the winter, and then they'll figure it out then. But I think there's still something in there, and I think they're covering it up.
well, sure. And also, I feel like if a house of a god was all of a sudden just abandoned and let to be in that state,
Right, that's what I've been saying this whole time.
like, what
And
would
every now
happen
and then
if-
he's like checking over.
What would
at the
happen if
ladies.
they looked down on this town and saw that, oh, we'll deal with that later? Like, wouldn't the god just abandon protecting this town?
see him like nervously looking up, and I didn't even think about that.
Here, and I pull out a little bit of tinfoil and I start making it to a cone. And I'm just like, this will save you.
Make a persuasion check. Make a deception check.
I'm actually kidding. I'm not doing that. There would be no reason for me to do that other than just to be a dick, and I'm not going to be a dick to this guy who gave me information. I also don't have tinfoil
Yeah, that's a
because that
fair-
doesn't
that's a
exist.
fair point.
Anywho, so I thank him for that. I drink the tea and scene change for now.
Sure.
I'm heading off to the council after this.
Okay.
For sure. Well, we'll see.
Figure out where you want to go.
Yeah. I mean, I have 2 options, depending what they do.
Gunter,
Anyway,
you
that's all of my life story.
and you kind of
Great.
and you hear this kind of as the door opens, and you look over and you see Shay enter and go to the bar. Seems to be talking with the bartender a little bit,
Schmoozing.
schmoozing, as Shay does.
As she does.
Yeah. Shay the schmoozer.
The schmoozing.
Jay, up, she didn't.
You hear Gunter
Decidedly ignoring.
Shay, we're over here.
says Gunter.
Shay, I see you over at the bar.
The bartender comes over.
I can't ride these levels.
I think,
I'm sorry.
I think you have a friend who's looking for you.
Really? I hadn't
Hey,
noticed.
thaumaturgy whispered right into her ear.
Oh, creepy.
Ew.
Creep City.
You can simulate that for the viewers if you'd like.
He's
Okay, no.
he's a
no.
magic user. And he's being obnoxious.
Yes. If he's your friend, could you just please have him stop?
Oh, wave of sound was like,
I'm gonna get up.
Okay.
I'm going to walk over to the stairs. Yes, Gunter.
shut up! Oh, there you are. So, I met one of your friends. Real nice lady.
So I heard.
By nice, I mean awful. And,
So I heard.
yeah.
Heard you
That's
had
about
a,
it. She's awful.
quite
She
the
cheated.
encounter.
So I'm technically the champion, but
Well, that's not exactly how it works.
yeah,
Gunter.
but you know, how does it work?
Well, you need to have a fight to establish a new champion.
All right. So if I fight you, then I'm the champion.
Just anyone.
I mean, you have to beat somebody, and
Well, if I beat you,
I'll
then I'm
fight
the
you, Gunter.
No, cause see, I already fought one of you.
What are you?
do you answer standing up? He's like, "Are you backing down from a challenge, Gunter?"
I just wanted to drink.
He's
and
an
more
old
my
dwarf. He
friend.
can't just be
I was
fighting
gonna
people
go
all
get
the
some
time.
spices.
The elderly need to be taken care of. This is very true.
And he's very old.
You mean
Did you know?
taken care of?
He is 287 years
I
old.
know,
Even
it's
for a dwarf, that's amazing.
Very, very
She-
old.
Someone like you, with you know,
With the
Talon says if you're not winning, then it's obviously cheating.
it's cheating. She cast magic in the ring. The ring is sacred. That's what Gimgam said.
I mean, it's not sacred, but yeah, you're not supposed to use magic in a.
It's
In a
cheating.
that's to be fair.
yeah.
So, she gave me this too. I can't read it. It's like a weird poem.
Do you want me to
Wanna
pass
see
it over?
Gimgam? Oh no, I was gonna read
You
it.
want to
Okay, yeah, you read it. You read it.
When Auctus broke the sky he rent the flock twixt raven and the gull slash dash 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 dash, kind of like a middle looking, not
Just-
nonplussed is how I would describe the mouth that I'm looking at. Then there's dot dot dot. But you were never one for flowery letters or the usual proverbs. Consider. Is it madness to see how far one's quilt might stretch? There is always another way. Ninefold are the paths. That's what you say all the time, right? You say that?
I do.
Or may you weave anew. I think she wanted me to give this to you, because I don't know what that means. But,
May I see
well,
it?
well, you may see it, but I want some answers.
I believe exchange of information is required.
An exchange of information. I've exchanged the information on this paper. Now you can exchange information to me. This always punching Gunter, but never giving him any answers or a chance at friendship. I've been through a lot, you know. We've been through a lot, and yet you still treat me like, what's his name? Blue Balls?
Peeboo.
Peeboo.
Tonight on DM Nightmares.
Do you mind if I take this wonderful old gentleman off your hands for a few hours?
Kim, don't let her do it.
We're gonna have a drink and
Yeah, we're gonna
just
have
recollect
drinks.
about old
We're
times, but
drinking.
maybe in a bit.
I'm mourning. Thistle is gone, and it's our fault.
Yes, Gunter, it is.
So, you get this when I get answers.
Well, until you give me this, I cannot give you answers, and so enjoy
What
your
does
drink.
it even mean? Alright, here. I'll hold it up so you can look at it.
That's not helpful.
Don't actually just do that. Can we
No,
like
here, I'm just
can
gonna
we
pass
like
this so that
can we
you
like
look at it.
fantasy world like you hold it up and she actually just looks at it?
Well, that's the thing. So right now, Gunter's holding it.
Yes, thank you.
And Shay is
Please,
looking
holy
at it.
I'm
fuck.
holding it really
Jesus.
tight, though.
Yeah, of
so
course,
that
yeah,
you
yeah, no,
can't
I
swipe it away.
assumed.
Because I know those fast fingers. I mean, that's how it got in there in the first place.
Yeah.
Don't
not-
call us the
not-
finger gang for nothing.
Oh
Yeah, but she
man,
wasn't
it's
in the
always
finger
it's always
game.
coming back.
I feel responsible for that one though.
So, what's this?
It is
What's
your fault,
it is
I
my
think.
fault.
She,
Yeah.
Can I kill her? Because I feel like I need to kill her now. She's really hurt me. I wasn't ready for a fight. I was just trying to get a drink. But,
You're not ready for this, Gunter.
well, that's why I gave it to you, because I thought you would
You
be
haven't
ready.
given it to me.
I mean, that's why I'm holding it in your face, 'cause- but I want answers. What's this all about? You've been going on about the Blue Mountains and the stars falling.
Not-
And Thistle has died.
Come find me when you're ready.
What does that even... Enough with
Okay.
the... Oh,
And you watch as Shay steps down and then out the
that doesn't mean anything. You can't be ambiguous all the time. Some people
the
don't
door
get it.
shuts as she leaves.
And
Methinks Gunter's getting hamsies tonight.
nerves of some people.
Drink away that pain.
Jeez.
Is she a friend of yours or?
I thought.
Okay, and he's gonna drink. He doesn't seem prepared to commit to this conversation. Very quickly, shifting over now to Morin.
Hi.
Where are you going?
Ta-da!
And
No, I don't know.
What are you looking like now? You said it.
My regular clothes,
Okay.
which are in my bag.
It's worth noting too. Little detail: the leather pants part of this armor already had a little whole tail poked out.
Oh my god, this is the cutest gift I've ever received ever in my entire life,
You-
aside from thistle hugs.
Where are you
But
going? What
you'll
are you doing?
never get
I'm gonna scope out the place a little bit.
Nice.
Is there, so it's all the same still? Is there still the
Just
same
really
books
gotta
and stuff?
Ram that home.
Taking some time to really look through. Same books. Everything seems fairly similar. You do notice the window above the table is unlocked, and that's probably how this was placed in.
Okay.
But outside of that, nothing was touched. Whoever put this here
Don't get touched.
wasn't here to steal.
Yeah.
To get-
Alright, well, I'm going to, just for good measure, reclose the window.
Okay. You lock the.
And
latch.
Sade left the room.
Yes, she's waiting outside.
Okay. And so, Tinsbury, look at this. My store has moved to Nocturne.
Kind of looks at the card. That's great.
But also, better yet, look at this. And I show him the note. And I'm like, she called me beautiful.
Do you want me to read the rest of that for you, Morwen?
Oh,
I know you can't read.
I mean, I think I got the most of it. I saw beautiful and chaotic.
Can I read that?
Yeah, that's fine.
He takes the note and immediately looks
You
down
may
like he's
read
a
it
little,
out
he's a
loud.
little worried. Morwen, while I appreciate your initial help, and help is in quotes, was, reckless but appreciated, my operation has grown beyond a need for additional partners. I considered leaving gold for you. That's good.
Oh.
But to be fair, your last investment, that word's in quotes too, was in a 17-year-old girl. So I decided instead to leave you this as a parting gift. Its nature suits you. Not only is it beautiful and dangerous,
See, that's
like
the
you,
part. Oh.
but it is also quite chaotic. That's the word that you got.
No, I got beautiful too.
Yeah, all the best, Ezra Findel.
Isn't that nice? What a sweetheart. Yay, let's go have a drink about it.
All right. And you head your way out the door. Sade, kicks herself off of the wall that she was leaning up against. Where are we going, Captain?
Excuse me.
You are excused.
Excuse me.
You are excused again.
Let's go
Cat
get
burps are weird.
Let's go get a drink.
It seems
I
you
don't
have
think
already
they should
done
do
that.
that.
Where are we going?
I have an idea, and I think of the fistful.
Quick montage. Okay, so, yes.
Cut to me.
Oh wait.
Okay,
I'm gonna help
Whatever.
you out
I'll,
here.
when
Thank you.
next
I
time
kinda figured.
I will.
go ahead.
As I leave after finishing my tea, I thank
Vitig.
Dig for his time. I tell him to keep being watchful. I can tell you are.
I think I know everything that goes on here.
Good. If you think that, then that will be your reality. And I kind of let that linger in a weird, awkward
You
way.
see him again, kind of nervously look up.
Yeah. Your tea is great. And I just kind of Oh, do you need money for this?
I kind of assume that.
Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure that I didn't.
Like before,
Did I dazzle him with this much conversation that he didn't ask
like
me to
before,
pay?
it was 2 silver.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I didn't want to
Yeah.
cheat you out of this imaginary currents.
No worries.
Anyways, okay.
I don't want to hurt the economy. Before,
I know it's really. I know that you and your Excel spreadsheets at night. Okay, so
I do have a total gold amount for all the cities and towns.
well, sure. Because if there's any big changes, I'm
Yep.
sure it matters. All right. So, anyways, I started heading out towards the.
More specifically, I thought with Gunter, there's a potential that you guys could start a war. So if it did come down to like towns being sacked and
You
stuff, I
use
needed
this
to
in
know
the
how.
past tense, like it's not still a possibility.
It is still possible.
A war is
So-
a brewing.
Yeah. You better go take care of that. The restroom's like that way. So I start walking towards the council or the Green Keep.
Sure.
And then I kind of like hesitate and just left up towards the Dwarven quarters. Yeah.
Okay. You start going and
Because like in
You
the back
head
of my mind,
off
I'm
towards the
like,
quarters.
if I haven't seen them yet.
Shay, as you walk out the door, you notice that from the path that you took, Heinrich is sort of heading up in your direction, in the direction of the Dwarven Quarter. He doesn't seem to have noticed you.
Right, because my passive is 11, and you are passive stealth of like 40 or something.
No, you don't have a passive stealth.
No, I'm sorry, that's Morrowind, but whatever.
Morrowind,
You might have been.
You also see behind Heinrich by about 100 feet, Morwen, Sade. Oh, and Tinsbury. He's a little low, hard to see.
Oh, and
I'll linger a moment then.
Okay.
What is Tinsbury again?
He's a halfling. You guys all converge in kind of the same place. Sans
Shay, there you are. Where is everyone else?
Gunter's inside. Be quick.
Be quick, okay. Where's Morwen and everyone else? And
Pointing.
there you are. Oh, it's a nice.
Ta-da!
Oh, Jesus.
It changes to your outfit.
My outfit.
So in
I'm
front
like,
of you, this dark chainmail armor. It's the exact same outfit
Scale?
that you have. Sorry, scale mail.
Yeah.
With
No-
the same
no
cloak
heavy, no
and
heavy.
all that kind of stuff.
I'm just like, whoa.
Down to the boots, in fact.
Wow, that is impressive.
Yeah.
Does it function that way too?
Don't you touch it.
I pull out a dagger. I'm just like, can I? And I like try to like rub it down along the scale mail
I
part.
do not accept.
Yeah, just kind of moves away.
Just
from
kind of
it.
like, oh, well. Is that?
Excuse.
It's like trying to pet a cat. It doesn't
Excuse
want
you.
to get
That's
touched.
fine. Sorry. That's impressive. You can summon armor now. Do you use magic all of a sudden?
None of your business.
Okay. Well, she
I
uses
continue
magic
to
now.
look
That's.
this tall.
Anywho.
Sade looks over at you and just goes,
No? Okay. Thought so. You said Gunter was inside. You were leaving. He's still in there. What is there? Is everything okay?
No.
Or I guess I catch up to you guys because I was far away when you said that, and I said ta-da.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
caught
But then
up.
you kept
Yeah.
going if you wanted to. But
No. I'll try.
Not here.
okay.
Be quick.
Noted.
Stay away from the shadows.
Sure. What time is it now?
about 2:30.
Okay. Easy enough.
Man,
Uh,
I started early.
Yeah.
You guys pulled in at noon.
Meet me at did you ever meet
the
to go to the cold harp?
I stayed there with you.
Okay. Meet me there.
You trust it?
Yes.
If
I
you
do.
guys need a, oh wait, am I there?
Kanor's actually still
Can
there.
I be there?
Yeah, you're with them.
Or approaching at least.
Kanor's actually
You guys-
still there.
you guys- yeah,
Kanor's
yeah.
still there.
You
If
guys
you
all,
guys, oh sorry.
yeah, you guys are all in the same spot now.
Okay. If you guys need a place to stay, I've got a house here.
Well, I left Kanor back at the cold harp, so we could at least go
Well, I'm just saying,
recollect
if
him,
you
and
need
then.
like a private place,
There you
I've
go, Crix.
got a building here.
Wonderful. That's actually probably better even than what my suggestion was. I'll go collect
Ta-da.
Gunter.
No, I'm just kidding.
Uh,
Change it.
where is your house? Where is this place?
Wait, Morwen, that was your house? Says Tinsbury.
Shared property. Shared property.
Oh,
Wait,
this
was
is
this
the
that-
kind of pirates thing, huh?
Wait, Marvin, was
Huh.
this that woman who?
Yeah, Rose, she still hasn't come back, and I still have her keys, so I'm taking care of the place until she comes back at least.
I do hope she's okay.
What do you
Anywho,
mean?
well, I don't know. I mean, when we left
She went
her
to
husband and everything, and
Yeah, but she picked up and she went to Thousand Gates.
you would totally see my face register like a bit of.
A bit of
It's a mix of things. I react to that. My face like falters in like the same frame for just like a second too long. Like I try not to show anything, and by doing that, I show something. I'm like, Anyways,
going.
no, I didn't say anything.
Go on.
Meet you at her house. I'll go collect Gunter. If you want to go get Kanor from the Cold Heart, we can all meet there.
Move in small groups.
Yeah, of course. That's why I continue along. You said shadows, and that means attention, and therefore smaller numbers better.
Avoid the shadows.
Of course, that's what I'm saying. Fewer numbers better. I got it. Don't worry. If you guys all maybe just circle around, meet there, and we'll.
Well, I've got I'm gonna turn to Sade, and I'm just gonna kind of say,
What direction are you headed?
Toward the cold heart.
Okay.
I'm gonna just like low key to not necessarily just so you guys can hear too, but not so anyone eavesdropping could,
Okay.
if anyone would be. Let's go check out the pier and see if there's any other boats for sale, perhaps that don't look like ours.
We can talk about it later. And
Well,
I
if we're
head off.
splitting up, we're gonna walk by the pier and meet you guys there.
So then you can go do that.
Here's the key.
You're okay. Sure.
You're gonna beat me
I
there.
think I know
You
where
don't know
that.
where it is. Give it back.
Yeah, I was about to say
I
I've
don't give it
never
to you.
been there
I don't give it
before.
to him. I don't give it
Okay,
to him.
cool.
Can you give me a like brief description because I know the city very well? Could she have done that? Been like, oh, there-ish. I know
She
it all now.
recalls the way in which she came back, but then very specifically what you would.
Or can I just give him directions in terms of where Morin's Miscellaneous is? I would at least know that well
Yeah,
enough.
sure.
And that
it's,
would
it's
easily-
literally two
You would
streets
know
off
where
from
that
Morin's
is.
Miscellaneous.
You mean Sandy Assortments? Okay, I got it.
Yes, and so you would actually that also.
I would have to say that out loud just to correct myself.
Yeah, because to you it's still Sandy Assortments. It's been that way for like 7 years.
I don't correct him because it's not incorrect.
Fair enough.
All right, I'm gonna go collect Gunter, and if anyone else has more,
Okay,
you guys gonna do it first, or
you turn around,
okay?
enter. Very different building than it was last time. I can't remember. Did Heinrich ever go to the Fistol? I don't think he did.
Yeah, no, I did. I did the thaumaturgy trick to like instigate the distraction.
Oh right.
That then
Yes,
ended
yes,
up
yes.
with somehow Gunter becoming champion.
Yes.
I also retracted said I take the key back now, describing to you where it was. You have
leave me
you
with
have the key.
Fair enough. That's
because
fine.
you'll probably beat us there.
No, I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna head straight there after this.
You see Gunter up in the corner, empty beer glass now in his hand. You can see like the foam falling down. He just polished it off.
So, and one more time, my life story again. Just because,
I walk up and
It's
kind of like,
287 years, Gunter. That's a. I don't think we have the time for that.
I mean,
how have you been doing this in half an hour spurts? I'm gonna lean up against the 6 foot high platform kind of thing
Yeah.
and like look up and like, hey Gunter, down here.
And Heinrich's whole
You
head
s-
comes up above the.
Yeah.
It's like it's only a 5 foot
Yeah.
platform.
what are you doing here?
I think we need to reconvene.
Oh, what did
Collect
Shay
ourselves.
tell you that
No.
time was of the essence and some other platitude?
I'm gonna whisper in your like thaumaturgy, like in your ear, like, listen, friend, please, we should be a little more cautious around these parts. Something's different since when we left.
Well, no kidding. I was trying to say it.
Gunter, please,
Please, what?
please, just calm it down
Please,
and
sir.
let's meet up with everyone else, and then we can be as loud and boisterous as we need to.
I gotta do a couple things.
You're in danger as we all are.
I got back and I'm tired, and I just want to drink away the sadness of losing. My
Yeah, he just got the
pistol.
shit kicked out of
And
him.
I got
Wait,
I
he
got
wouldn't.
attacked.
He wouldn't. I thaumaturgy in
Yeah, but
his
he's
ear.
yelling and he's
He is yelling.
he's responding to what Gunter's saying. Not to anything. You're not. He doesn't hear anything you're
I got
saying.
attacked. Yeah.
All right, I'm just
Wait,
gonna
so
walk
does
up
he
there.
See his mouth
Cheated.
moving and see nothing coming out. If he's
Yeah, but
thaumaturgy
he's
whispering.
very intelligent. I mean, he's
He's
looking
watching
entirely
Gunter,
at
and Gunter's talking at
screaming.
me. And all right, so I just walk up, and I'm just gonna go straight up to Gunter. I'm gonna grab him by the shoulder. I'm like, "We're going."
But
We're
I
going.
want to finish my drink with Kim.
It's empty, and it's empty, and I take it out of his hand. I
Give
put
me
it down.
another.
Don't get him another right now. We'll be back.
Make a persuasion check.
Sure. That's not very good. 9.
Okay. Gunter, you said you can't have another. I'm gonna go with your friend here. You've been drinking all morning.
Gim.
Go with him when you come back. I'll have a beer for
That's
you.
what I said. We'll be back. We'll be back.
Beat the shit out of you and be champion again.
He just lost a very close friend. If he
We've
hasn't
been
told
talking,
you
I
about it
understand,
multiple
yes.
times already, as he probably is, want to do.
4, I believe.
Okay, yeah.
I'm just trying to.
He was my friend
Was
as
he
well,
actually
and
his baby boy? I can't tell because he keeps
Not-
saying he's tall
not-
and fuzzy, but then he also uses his baby
yeah,
boy. so-
no. He was a close friend, close companion.
Right.
Did you get a tattoo?
Don't need to worry about it right now.
Heinrich did.
I'm gonna grab Gunter and just kind of like
Okay.
usher him out a different
Gunter,
door.
as-
A different door. Is there another?
one
There's
door.
one door.
No fire codes here.
Motherfucking piece of
The
shit.
fist hole, one way in, one way
Gunter,
out.
as Heinrich pulls you away,
Jesus Christ.
You're literally making this whole campaign harder for us, and I
Gim
hate you
Gam.
for it so much.
kind of
We
goes,
had one way out. There was just
and
a
just
door.
put
I don't
something
know.
in your hand, and as you walk away, there's a flask in your hand.
Hey!
And he seems to go, "Shh."
So, anyways, pull him outside, and I'm gonna go on a very circuitous path.
Okay.
Probably stopping by, I don't know, fucking
So we've got time.
the old granny on the porch just to like see if she's there.
Sure, you walk by, you look for old Gran. You don't see her at the moment. You see evidence that she's probably still alive because there is, like,
Dang.
her house isn't closed down, and there's
Why are you
like,
looking
That's
for
only been
old
2
friends?
months. I guess that's
Oh,
not
you
totally
recognize
surprising.
this place. So good. So you're still with me. So if you're
I'm
still with
always with it.
No, if you're still with it, then Gunter, and I like lean in real close. I'm like, Gunter, you need to calm the fuck down right now. Something is fucking wrong here.
Yeah,
Something.
well,
Stop.
something's
Lower
been
your
wrong
fucking
since
voice.
the-
Lower.
I
your,
was there.
Lower your voice, Gunter. That's fine. You can do that, and let's thaumaturgy from now on. So back and forth, assuming everything we're
Sure.
talking about is like
Oh
in
my
each other's
God.
ear only.
You're
Quiet.
whisper fighting. That's my favorite.
But really,
I
like,
love
Gunter,
whisper
Gunter,
fights.
Gunter, I will listen to everything that you are saying as long as you just do it like this.
My favorite fight.
Gunter, I was there. I was holding the half of his body that came away.
if this was a film, you guys would see, like, it cuts to like a guy walking by and just seeing two people going at each other furiously.
I'm trying to be like as disguised with this as possible.
You are like a
I'm
foot
holding
and a
my
half
face steady.
taller.
I'm holding my face steady.
You're a foot
I'm
and
like,
a half taller than Gunter is, and Gunter is making no attempt to disguise this whatsoever. So, just cutting back to the conversation, just wanted to point that out.
oh my god. If I notice people looking, I'm just like, he. It's early. He's already had too much. It's.
So they just kind of like will nod and kind of keep going.
Yeah.
Nobody's really paying attention.
I don't know what is fucking wrong with you right now, but you really need to listen to me and calm down. If you keep going like this, I'm going to have to hit you and calm you down.
It's everyone's result.
Well, then you should probably fucking listen because you're doing nothing but making
always
trouble.
listening, I'm still getting hit.
You're doing nothing but making trouble for everyone, Gunter, and that is all you've ever done. That is all you have ever
I
done.
went in for a drink. I'm
That is-
trying-
Oh, Heinrich, you're so lucky Moira's not there.
I'm just trying to cut him, so he'll shut up.
You're not being nice at
I-
all.
I'm trying to do what's best for both of us right now. Gunter, if you please just listen and calm down.
I've been
I listen.
listening.
No, you haven't.
Like
I'm
you never
always
hugged
listening.
You have
a
not.
drunk friend into
Listen,
an Uber.
I hear you. We have lost Thistle. We have lost a great companion. We have lost a lot. We have only
And
just...
I got beat up.
That's probably your own fault, to be
It
quite
was my
fair.
fault.
Okay, good. We agree on that.
Gam's fault.
Well, yeah. I mean, you were at the fist hall. What? Okay, but we need to recollect ourselves and reconvene with everyone because something is wrong here. There's something
Yeah,
very
beat
wrong.
up Shay's friend.
I don't want to ask about that until we're in close quarters, and this is while we're still walking. By the way,
And Heinrich
have
said,
not
"Is it like
stopped.
I'm gonna ask Shay about that?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I don't want to ask you about that right now. Let's talk all openly because we can't talk openly here. Thank you. And could we like make it there while he's holding that face?
Sure. He holds the face
And
the
it's like-
entire duration of
and-
the rest of the way.
Of note, I'm trying to make it so that it doesn't appear that that is directly where we're heading. So if we're being followed,
Yeah, you said circuitous. You're going
Exactly.
around. You go through different paths. You
occasionally
double.
I'm
I'm
back.
avoiding things like
You
the
walk into,
mercantile
like, little-
district
you
and
walk
stuff.
into, like,
Like,
little shops just to kind of like look around, and then you go
Yeah.
out and you'll go around.
but
like,
I'm also
up
not
the
going
dome.
through like weird back
Oh,
alleys
sure.
because that's
Are we
also
You're going
just
to
as
places
sketchy.
that you are very familiar with.
Public
So-
paths and not places necessarily that are too populated.
Are we going?
That
we're
those two
going through
things.
stores though.
No, we're not. I'm not going into
No,
stores.
no stores.
I told you specifically that we're not going into
So,
stores.
you take the path that Heinrich leads you down, which
I'm kind of like veering off every now and again. And just,
I would also assume that we would probably, hopefully, get there first too, so that if he needs to start yelling again, we can at least be inside locked doors.
well, she's going to get to the Cold Heart first.
Cold Heart, yes, but we're going to Rose's house based
Fair
on
enough.
Morin's description.
What were you doing once you walked away, right? You were going towards.
Me and Sade and Tinsbury were just gonna at least like browse
too
the
much.
docks.
Sure.
I wanted to also look out for oyster clams and cockles guy.
All right, I'll be back.
Okay.
See if he's still there.
No, yeah. Oh, dude, the oyster cart dude
Yeah.
who you gave us gold to, I think. and-
Make a
yeah, that guy was.
make a
He was a simple.
make a survival check.
Survival.
Yeah.
Interesting. 14.
You go down to the docks, look around. There's a couple things that catch your eye. The boat's, for the most part, different than you last saw, with one notable exception. Bernal's ship is still there. Outside of Bernal's ship, there is 3 ships about the same size as yours, various kind of make and model. You need to get closer to really take a look at them. There are like 11 ships ranging in size from yours down to like single deck transport ships, so getting towards the smaller side. And then there's like a plethora of little ships. All the way down on the southern part of the docks, there is a very large ship, like a frigate. And this looks like a warship. Not one that you're familiar with. Roll a history check.
I'm also gonna.
Yeah. That adds a bonus to how good it
No,
feels.
no, no. Alberon Sade.
Oh, okay. Shade will kind of.
That's
turn
what
her
I meant.
attention- Oh, then don't roll. Shade is going
okay.
to turn her attention and go, "What? This is a salty sister.
What is that?
This
Or-
sorry, not the
I
salty
doubt
sister.
that I know anything
This
about
is the silent sister, part of the Nocturne Navy. It is a very fast ship. It is well known.
Is Nocturne who's haunting us? No,
Nocturne
no,
is
that's just the
itself.
place.
Yes, it
Okay.
is the large
That's why
city
that's
itself. Nocturne, the
familiar
city of
to me.
nights.
Oh, that's where Morin's. We look at her.
Yeah, actually.
Okay, word. I will just say though, eyes peeled, because if we wanna, try to ditch this boat for another boat, don't know if that's something we're looking to do.
It's up to you.
But I'm telling the Sade, or
Okay.
she's saying it's up to you.
Yeah.
Well-
She was like, it is up to you. You are the captain.
I know, but your opinion matters to me. So I'm just saying, let's just
The ship
window
that
shop.
we have right now is very nice.
But it's being tracked, so
Is
that's
it?
why I thought she knew that. Didn't she know that we were being followed?
Yeah, but you guys are in like the Sunrest Islands 11 days away. Do you
Oh, that's
think
true.
that they have followed us here?
I would hope not.
Yes.
But, if they followed us in general, I'm sure they'll keep going.
Well, it is up to you. I am of the opinion that we would need to completely unload the ship. I've made a lot of alterations to it already to suit what we need.
All right, it was just an idea, but okay, we'll just. Is Oyster Boy there?
At some point, and I can't do his voice because my voice is all messed up, but you would hear a fairly similar sound to same name spelled differently. His name is Tom, the Oysterman, and you just hear oysters, oysters.
And it's the
And
same
you-
guy?
Yeah, same guy.
Me! I'll take some oysters. How many?
He
I mean, how much?
slowly turns around. Oysters?
Yeah.
Takes this like wood, and there's no wheels on this cart. He's just dragging a wooden box like on a rope, which does have ice in it, which is different than what you had last experienced.
Lovely.
His business.
He didn't, but yeah, he
Okay.
pulls it over, and it's full of oysters with a couple of clams mixed
just
in
be
because he
looking
doesn't
that
seem
slow,
to know
the
the
ice is
difference necessarily.
accumulating.
How many you want?
How much is it?
And he reaches in and like his big hands pull out like 3 of them in one handful. Yes. And it's worth noting during this interaction, like a couple people have stopped and are kind of watching you.
Give it to Tinsbury.
Okay. Since where he takes it and he looks around.
I'll take a dozen.
He just looks at you.
More.
And he reaches in and pulls out like 2 more and puts them in your hand. And eventually,
I give some to
by
Sade.
saying more and more, you
Thistle.
eventually get 12.
All right, so we each have 4, and I give him 2 gold. 'cause
Okay,
he's
he
so
takes
cute.
the gold, he looks at it and just goes, oh,
And I wink at him, and I go,
nice kitty. And he turns and walks away, leaving his cart there.
And
as
you're
he did
still
the last
wearing
time
my
that you paid him
armor.
that much.
he leaves his cart?
Yeah.
Oh, I
He
take
did.
2
He
more.
did the exact same thing. Last time you paid him 1 gold, he got so excited he left his cart. He did the exact same thing.
Take 2 more.
Yeah, and you still were. Yeah.
You take the 2 other oysters and
I just want
you
to
have
make a
14
point. Are you
oysters.
still wearing all of my clothing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Not gonna ta-da in front of all of these random fucks. So
Sade takes out a knife and very quickly and skillfully pops an oyster open and kind of slurps it out,
I take
separating the
Tinsbury
membrane.
and I cuck his. What is it called? Cluck? What is
You
it called?
Sorry.
you what?
You're going to cuck Tinsbury?
No, the oysters.
Shuck?
Shuck. That's the
Wow, everyone.
word. What?
Marwin.
I didn't know. Was that like a bad word? Or is it just a mess
we'll
up?
talk during
That's
the
how
break.
it goes,
We'll
folks.
talk during the break.
Wait, did I just like? Oh my
It's
god,
not
I'm
an
so
offensive-
random.
it's
No
not
one
an
in the
offensive
chat say
thing.
anything.
It's not an offensive
Let us
thing.
inform
I don't
them.
know. Don't be mad at me. I have no idea.
It's a sex thing. Don't worry about it. We'll explain it to you.
Is it?
Yeah.
It's all
Oh no!
Holly, ladies and gentlemen, your
What did
character
I
wants to
do?
sleep with everybody, but
What did I
she
do
does
with
not
these
know what that is.
oysters?
Apparently,
God.
you're banging their spouse in front of them.
Well, now she knows.
Yeah.
Okay,
You
done.
have your 14
Continuing
oysters.
on.
And you, looking at these boats, you see Bernal's boat,
Ooh,
you
at
see
least
the
I
boats
didn't
that have
say
been...
like a really bad word.
True. You,
Okay.
you see these boats that are here. You eat your oysters in peace. Tinsbury eats his oysters as well. What do you...
And she
what do you do?
watches
We go back
while
to
they eat the
Rose.
oysters.
Is that? That's
You guys
weird.
make your way back to Rose. At this point, I believe all of you, except for Shay, have met up at Rose. Shay is just kind of by herself at Cold Harp.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, you were gonna go get Kanar,
Kanar, who was there?
and then were you?
I did ask to meet at Rose.
Okay.
For what it's worth, and I think you had been there before because you were. I don't even know.
You have been there before.
Okay.
I would have taken the long way.
Okay.
Would have stopped out of sight in kind of the main thoroughfare
Okay.
and just watched for a little bit.
Okay. You wait and you watch. How long are you spending? It's about 3 o'clock now.
An hour maybe?
Okay. Waiting for an hour. And the main thoroughfare being like in the market district, from the busiest part, there is something that you notice. The steps of the spice market, which you would remember, you had seen Gunter and Mormon go into the first time you were in Port Quinn, and then Gunter quickly run out, being chased by a wood elf who worked there, Janice. But it's not Janice that you see. You do see a wood elf sitting on the steps. Short, coppery skin, green eyes. This fairly simple tunic compared to the last time that you saw Ariadne. But it's Ariadne.
What is up?
Plot twist. Krista, come on out.
Yeah, right. She's been living in her closet for 9 months.
Oh.
She's coming out the closet.
Don't you reference that person in my fucking house.
Okay. After about an hour passes, like she's out there for maybe 10 minutes. It seems like it's almost like I don't know. And then she goes back inside.
Yeah. Shay wouldn't be that interested.
Yeah, fair enough. So you,
I feel like Kanar would also be like, what are you looking at?
Well, I haven't picked
No,
up Kanor yet.
Gaynor would not ask her.
No, it's true.
I
It
haven't
is
picked up Kanor.
almost
So you were
everybody's at
already at
least
the cold heart? Oh, you. This is
I
on the
need
way
to.
too.
This
This is on the way too. Gotcha.
most people on the boat, and you guys having spent like 11 days at sea just now.
Everyone
you
knows
would
to
get the
stay away
sense-
from Shay. Yeah.
Not stay away, but there is a mixture of like fear and admiration. The people who've been around for a while and seen Shay in combat, like a certain amount of admiration. The people who've just seen her deck Gunter a couple times, like a lot of fear.
That's pretty elusive.
From an outsider perspective, it looks like you're just beating up an old man a lot.
Yeah.
So,
I have not hit you that much. I'm blind.
Enough to give the fear though. That's fine.
That's what's important. But moving on.
you've hit Gunter 9 times.
It's true. He's counting.
I'm not.
We have
so
art of it.
There you go.
Um,
I'm not gonna.
so, sorry, I just lost my train of thought.
Back at Rose.
Back at Rose. You're gonna go collect
So
Kano?
eventually I will go collect Kanor. And then a very windy path. Eventually make it to Rose House.
Okay. You walk. He follows without too much. He does appear to be kind of just keeping an eye out. You guys make it there without issue. And you can see already within are Heinrich and Gunter.
Did I finish the bottle?
Yeah. Make a Constitution saving throw.
That's a 19, I think.
You're getting pretty sauce, but you're maintaining control. You're hitting that like drunk level where, like, you're just starting to get real good at Guitar Hero. You know, you're feeling yourself.
That sweet spot of root where you just sink them all.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, or at least you feel like you are.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do, and then there's the one.
Yeah.
Figure out.
Gunter's like right about at that
killing
level.
in some skee ball right now.
What's skee ball? So
Does it look like only those two are here?
currently, yeah.
I'm gonna send Kanor inside. And how tall is this building?
Like
A floor.
15 feet tall to the top of the roof, the thatched roof.
Cool. I'm gonna go camp on the roof until
Okay.
Morwen gets here.
No trouble, especially with the thatch. You can just use that to climb right up, and you do like a Batman kind of perch. Or
Yep.
okay, cool.
Yep. Full on.
The door
Kanor.
opens and Kanor comes in.
Oh. Where did Shay come with you?
Yeah.
Get with you.
Hang
Are
on.
we all
He
Shay's
leans out of the
team
door.
now? Shay's
Yeah,
got all
she was here.
Okay. Well, I guess that's more of a Morrowind move, but all right. I guess maybe she's keeping watch. Hopefully. I got the gist from her that there's some shadowy folk or something maybe that might be better to stay away from.
I'm still worried about Obsidian Sace, so I'm keeping an eye out for that.
Exactly. We got a lot of things following us, and apparently now there's even one more that we have just encountered since we got here.
What?
I don't know. Shay gave me the
Shay has a
indication of
friend
that.
and she's real mean.
About that, actually, yeah. Why don't you?
Wait. Shay has a friend?
Well,
Yeah,
an associate.
well,
I don't know. They're wearing the same clothes.
what do you mean the same clothes there?
Like the, we got the thing.
From her
Hers was a
monastery?
different color.
It's
It's
called
on
a-
the
it's called
roof,
a
I can
vestment.
hear it.
Whatever, a vestment.
How did you meet where did you see this person?
She cheated and became the champion in the fist hall, so Gim Gam made me fight her. I was gonna fight her,
I'm
but
gonna be
I
honest.
wanted to have a couple drinks first, and Gim Gam got up and was just like, "Hey, everyone, gonna fight!" And I was like, "Oh shit!"
Do
I'm
we
gonna
know
be
who
honest.
Gim is, or
Yeah, and I'm gonna be I think so, but I'm gonna be honest. This title, I mean, last time when you earned it, I cheated to help you, and you cheated.
You cheated?
Well, you cheated too. I
Well,
saw
yeah,
you
but I'm-
cheating.
No one found.
Gotta
out.
be honest. What's the point of a title of champion if
cheat-
no one's gonna be honest about how they win it?
If you don't get caught, it's
What's
not cheating.
What's the importance?
She
I
got
don't
caught.
think that's how it works.
I'm fairly certain it's not. So I'm pretty sure this title sounds like total malarkey, but you know,
It's a sacred title.
sure, sacred bar.
Were you heading to Rose House after? Okay. It is about this time that you would see maybe like 500 feet away, still a ways away, Morwen walking up dressed exactly like Heinrich. Like, spot on exactly like Heinrich. But like,
She's done weird.
but they fit her, so like it's weird.
She's done weird things.
Somehow she has shrunk Heinrich's armor to fit her frame. She is flanked by Sade, just walking like normal. And Tinsbury still has 3 oysters left. It's a little harder for him to shuck them, and so as he walks, it's taking a little bit more time.
I'll help shuck them. for
Okay.
him.
I'm sorry. What did you? I'm just kidding.
You give him a hand with the
You
shucking.
guys made me so sweaty with that. I was so worried.
I don't
so-
want to even
Do you
tie
do
that
any-
word
do
to
you-
the other thing.
Do you do anything when you see Mormon?
Watching. I'm not gonna move until after they're safely in the house.
Okay. Mormon, you roll a stealth check for me.
Snake. 17.
You walk in, and you see Gunter, Kanor, and Heinrich all standing around. Gunter looks like he's getting a little bit worked up. But because it is 10:30, and we have finally all got back together,
You're welcome. I tried so
take a
hard.
break.
Back together.
we're going to go do our break. We'll be back in like 15 minutes.
Hey,
We
it only took half a session for us to get back together.
That's true. It didn't
Before
take...
took me
Yeah,
time.
Joe, come on. You gotta be a little proud of us. It's been a while since we've been in Port Quinn together.
I hope you guys do know that I'm very proud of all of you. But different reasons. We're going to come
I feel
back,
the
not
same
Gunter.
for
We're going to
you.
come back in about 15 minutes. We have like our new theme song. So if you weren't here for the very beginning, you can hear the first time we've ever played it at our break. Again, composed for us by the user 100 Take Wonder on Reddit. Definitely check them out. Like, super cool to work with. See you in 15.
Yeah, don't snap at that.
welcome back to Adventures in Alberon. Thank you guys. For those of you who stuck through it with us through the break, took me a second to get that out there. Quick recap of where we've been tonight. Our group, having come back to Port Quinn, have up until this point been split up. So we had Gunter going to the Fist Hall, where he ran into an old friend in Gimgam, the dwarf that you had cheated to defeat within the Fist Hall. Friendly rival. You were then soundly beaten up by a monk.
Beat her.
Sure. A
She
monk
cheated, though.
like person who cast some kind of a spell, sending you into darkness before slipping something into your pocket, which you discovered was some kind of message.
It's like a poem.
Meanwhile, Heinrich, you this is such nice music. It's a lot.
Well, it's just a tap. We'll get there.
You,
We'll tape it off.
This is a new speaker system we're using for us in the room. So we're working on it. Oh, thanks, Talon. Heinrich, you took some time to renovate the Cold Harp. Talked with Tom
Lay
a little bit about
plans.
talked with Tom a little bit about the plans and what you wanted to do to get that started. You then went to. Oh, this is bad.
What?
I'm sick, so it's hard for me to remember.
Oh,
The congestion's coming back, so
Sure.
I'm starting to get the
yeah.
stuff
So I went
around.
to the tea place that I can't remember the name
right.
of right
You
now
went to the
either.
Silk Patio.
Silk patio, thank you.
And pressing the owner for questions, and remembering that the owner, Vitig, was a little bit of a conspiracy theorist.
Yeah.
You managed to get from him that screams were heard within Helm's Temple before it was chained off,
And people ran out.
and the guards ran out.
Yeah.
You didn't see how many guards, but they did run out, and nobody has been in since, at least to his knowledge. Morwen, you went to Rose's house, Rhodesia, and you guys won't know who Rhodesia is. So before the campaign was a streamed campaign.
True.
Yeah, this is before we even had thought about streaming it.
This is even before what's his name went on a fucking drunken bender that originated the name the Finger Gang.
I looked at
It
it.
looked like his like drunken name.
Yeah.
Like
Philip.
Philip.
Rest in peace, Philip.
Poor Philip.
You guys actually did see Electai briefly in the Kobold game that I did, yeah. Anyways,
Cameo.
Rhodesia was a woman who owned a small general store called the Sandy Assortments, which sold mostly stolen goods. Ran a smuggling operation out of the basement.
It got sold to, well, you left it in the care of like a 12-year-old girl, didn't you?
Yes, so when you guys first left, she looks very young, but she's 17. Morwen, you left that store after obtaining it and changing it to Morwen's Miscellaneous. To Ezra, who has since left, leaving a note with you. It seems as if she has terminated your partnership, but left you with a very nice
I
gift.
didn't, yeah.
I didn't expect anything.
Shay, you took some time to really get into the city, walk around, look for things. You went to the Fist Hall, and you discovered that there was a person that many people have been saying is just similarly to you, although the colors don't seem to match and the patterns don't seem to match. In a very general sense, you get the sense that they're talking about a monk. But there are a lot of monks. You guys eventually picked your way, taking very circuitous routes, more when you passing by the docks and seeing Bernal ship still there. Not really seeing...
Spooky, eerie. I feel ways about it.
Not really much else outside of that. You guys eventually did meet up, with the exception of Shay, who was still up on the roof, I believe. But all of you are in or on Rose's house.
What time is it? It's the day still,
It's
right?
3:30, and at this time of year, you're just seeing like the sun's beginning to go down a little bit. It's getting darker.
Is there a back door to this house, or is it just the one?
It is just the one.
It's all those wonderful fire codes.
One way in, one way out.
Well, you guys
Rose
haven't really been to.
Okay.
Hi, people.
I have gathered you. No, I'm just kidding. So this town seems a little different from last time we were here. What have y'all experienced? I mean,
My store
Fist Hall looks
moved
different.
to
and-
Nocturne.
To Nocturne.
Yeah.
Nocturne. Okay, that's two places, isn't it? Yeah, you, Gunter. What were you gonna say?
Sade kind of would pipe up at this because she was not here for the mention of Nocturne, but her eyes narrow. Nocturne.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you know in Nocturne?
Ezra Findel.
Have you been there?
No. Have
Really?
you?
Yes.
Have you been to Mormons?
That is your name.
Hi.
It moved. Sorry, to help clarify, this store that moved apparently was here last time we were here 2 months ago. Just to.
That is nice.
Yeah, you wouldn't have been there.
Right.
That's what I'd say.
And this is a good point. At that time, I was actually, I believe, working for either Blackheart or Southport. I don't remember. But Nocturne is the city of night. It is a shady place.
It's pretty awesome.
Gunter would like it. She doesn't look at Gunter, but
Well, who asked you?
Assumed from the name, from the tidbits that I've heard.
yes, it is a dangerous place to go if you do not know the right way to talk.
Oh, I'm not necessarily suggesting we go. I'm
You
just letting
like
you
it.
guys know.
This is what I could do.
I thought we were just catching up. I just wanted you guys to know that Mormons has a
So,
Which
you
locations?
dragged us all over here, and I'm not drinking anymore. So, why?
And there's
Oh,
this like
here you
whiskey
go. No,
like
I'm just
smell
kidding.
coming
Go.
off of Gunter's breath.
Why did you
Once
do
they're
that?
all
To be
inside
quite honest, I
and the
thought
sun
that it
is,
was
like,
because of Shay who said
mostly
that we
set.
were in danger.
So, what is our deal here? 'Cause
Where is
I
Shay?
You,
were
as
the-
you say that, in turn, Shay is in the room with you.
I
She,
got
has,
stuff to
she has walked in the door at some
Fuck.
point without you noticing.
Shay. Okay.
It scares me, and I'm like, oh god, that's what that feels like.
Yeah, that's right. That is what that feels like, Morwen.
Oh, that sucks.
Okay, hold on. Can we at least take stock of what's going on here? Can we all pool our information? Because I have some changes or things that I've noticed that have changed. Something seems off about this place. You just told me that we should be careful and not travel together.
You go first.
Okay. I guess hopefully it's not related. Might be. I don't know. But do you remember Twee, the guy we killed right before we fled and left? The whole Helm's Temple. I don't know. Haunted. Something is there. I've gotten information from various sources that something dangerous is either right in the heart of this city or is within the tunnels beneath it where he was with that cult that was doing some weird nefarious shit.
Anything worse than what we dealt with before?
I mean, I don't know.
Haven't we already done this before?
I don't know.
Let's
Have
just
you-
say it's
Fucked
not
it
our
up
first
before.
rodeo.
I mean, based on the descriptions I heard, probably not, right? All I heard was people running out and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff, right? Like,
I can beat
Point
up a
being-
bunch of people running.
well, not the people running, but what caused them to
Well,
run.
the orcs up.
No, the
Beat
what?
up some orcs
what-
running too.
Okay. What caused them to run, though? I mean, I don't know. Part of me feels like at least while we're here, if nothing else is more dangerous, at least helping to fix that before we depart. Because this is my home after all, and what we set off to do was kind of some world protecting kind of shit, at least it seemed.
Oh, speaking of which, Bernal's boat is still here. Isn't that creepy as
Oh,
fuck?
fuck that guy. Let's burn it.
I'm kind of along
impressed.
with Gunter on that one, but either way, something about that. I mean, this place is as safe as any that we've been. It's to me a home, and I don't know, to you guys at least a place that we can pause
It's a
in.
stopping
I would just
point.
like to at least check out and see what's going on in that place and clean it up if we can. Maybe help and get some help from that before we head off north. Because there's talk of dragons up there too, or a deep dragon, if that rings a bell to anyone.
Opposed to a shallow dragon?
No, one from the deep, from beneath.
Oh.
Like
Like,
underwater?
no, land actually. Oddly
No,
enough,
those are
Kol Taram,
serpents,
you know-
sea serpents.
you know Kol Taram. Familiar with?
Kol Taram!
It's up north.
Yeah,
it's
Dwarven.
a dwarf place.
He would know
Ah,
more about the
dwarves.
details.
I don't know much about
Mithril. You know Mithril?
Yeah, the mill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So a big mine up there.
Okay.
And I guess all the dwarves who live here now have fled from there, and there's been more and more rumors, and they've started to solidify in reinforcements from other reputable cities to try to. Anyways,
We saw
there seems to
dragons
be
coming out of here. I mean, we know
exactly,
they're around.
exactly.
I
Now it
know
seems
whose
like one
fault
is
was
closer
that.
by. That's another piece of information. But the immediate thing that I would like help with is at least clearing up that temple in the middle of the town that I'm from, just to. It would put me at ease. I don't know if anyone wouldn't mind on that. But what's yours? What's your information? Because I gather Gunter met someone that looks like you, he was just saying, or talks or dresses or something.
Gunter,
Shay.
I need that letter.
And I need information from you.
And to start, can you please tell everyone your encounter at the Fistal? In detail.
With what?
Your encounter at the Fistal.
I told you, I was trying to tell him, but he wasn't listening to me, and I was saying, I'm listening.
He's listening now.
We're all here. We're all listening. We're here to
I got
gather.
beat
listen-
up, okay?
Yeah, we got that.
She cheated, she used a spell. You're not supposed to use a spell in the circle. It's the fist hall, you use your fists.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, what else? Oh, she gave me this note. Shay wants it, but I'm holding it because I want something from her.
She dressed differently and used her fists. I mean, is that?
Yeah, she
Is
was
that all
like,
there was?
Gunter,
she
make a
was like,
dexterity saving throw.
yeah. She's like,
Or
hey.
just a dex check, sorry.
Ooh, that's a 3.
Sade snatches the note out of your hand.
Sade did?
Yes.
I'm fucking tackling the shit out of her.
Okay.
I'm gonna grab him to stop.
At the
him from
moment,
doing
she's
that.
okay. So, make competing athletics checks.
Okay.
The two of you. Gunter lunges forward as soon as Sade, and you kind of anticipating it,
That's a-
react as well.
6.
I got a 7.
Okay. So it's close. Like he almost squeezes out, and you grab him by the cloak, and Gunter, there's a moment where you're like, ah, and you have
He's
to
a
kind of go
slippery
back.
boy.
But you manage to.
Whoa,
to
whoa,
keep
whoa
him
there,
back.
friend. Come on.
She
Come
hands
on.
the note to you.
Come on.
So-
No.
I'll kill you! I'll kill you!
I would like to see you try.
Oh, she's asking for it.
Stop, Gunter.
Oh,
She kind of puts
So
a hand
close
on one
to
of the daggers
vanishing.
behind her back.
I'm so close to banishing Sade.
Gunter, please. We're trying to work together here, and you're doing nothing to help that. Please stop.
Can I command her to shit?
Why would you do
If really
that?
want to?
Because she just took it from me. I'm gonna be like, shit!
What is the save on that?
Wisdom save.
Well, it's going to be a 20. 19. I rolled a 19.
Damn it.
Yeah, not in Bro's house.
She just furrows her brow, and her hand still rests on her dagger, but she just says, no. You now have the note.
Gunter, thank you for giving it to me, though indirectly.
Sade looks like she really wants to say something, but she doesn't.
Kind of like side eye, like.
Yeah. There's a moment of understanding.
I believe I mentioned it once that I left home searching for someone who had caused a grievous injury to my people.
That's her.
Not necessarily.
It was probably her. She beat me pretty bad.
She at least is of the same mindset. There are things that are very bad happening to the north, to the point that the message I received was only one word long, and it said danger, and that is out of character.
What message? What do you mean message? From who?
We send messages back and forth.
But who? No more secrecy.
I don't get this. This
Yeah.
is why I was trying to keep it.
I agree, honestly, with this point. We've been pretty open at this point.
I need answers. You took my.
I am
You
At
took
this
my
point,
Gunter,
Shay,
Gunter,
you are
Gunter.
aware of the fact
Gunter.
that everybody, Sade, Tinsbury, everybody's looking at
I'm
you.
not going to pressure
I
you,
am
but I'm
from
looking.
the north.
Yes.
We get
I
that.
am of the
Gunter.
Zimmi. We're a small-ish village to the north. Keep to ourselves for the most part.
I mean, yeah, that seems to
Okay,
translate
so-
here, but.
The things that we can see and discern with our own eyes and ears. Now, what you're gonna tell us?
Our own eyes and ears.
What you see is what you get.
What I see is what I get, and I get squat diddly. Give me back the letter.
And a lot of
No.
punches.
I want a refund.
To be honest,
In
Gunter, a
all,
lot of
in all
punches.
fairness, Che, I don't know if we're totally sure what we see aside from you punching. No disrespect, but
This is what I was saying.
you elaborate
the ambiguity.
a little more.
Gunter.
I
Not
trust you,
helpful.
but I fear that you don't trust me.
Or me. I've trusted you. You have been there for me in a time of need, and
I trust that there is a
If
mutual
s-
distrust. And that
Gunter.
is healthy for us, I think.
Gunter.
I
get if you
don't trust him. But I'm just saying.
Shay, you were there for
Well,
me.
in Gunter's defense.
Hold on.
In
Please.
my defense, go on.
Wait, who's saying that?
Tinsbury.
Oh my god.
Okay.
He did seem pretty broken up about Thistle.
That's true.
We
I
were all
am
very
very
broken.
broken. I still am. I just wanted to go get a drink with my buddy Gim Gam. Rival, really. I was gonna. do
Gim
that.
fam.
But then he's not the champion because Shay's friend is the champion now, and she cheated.
No,
She's
but
not
we're not
my
saying
friend.
friend. We're not saying friend. It seems like, you
Shay's
have a mutual enemy.
acquaintance.
I couldn't be more frustrated in character and in real life right now.
Fair to say, mutual enemy.
Heinrich's walking outside. He can't deal with all this bullshit.
Door opens.
Actually, Heinrich's walking outside.
Scott
I'm gonna
slams
go.
behind.
I'm gonna go like walk towards Helm's Temple
Wait, why are you
But
walking
you have
outside?
to be safe.
because
You
everyone's
have to
being
be
fucking
safe.
stupid and he can't deal with it, nor can I. So I'm removing
Can I
myself.
try
from
to
the
catch his
situation.
tail when
No, I'm already outside.
He's
I'm
already
gone. I'm gone. I'm gone.
So Gunter is shouting at you.
That was also kind of like. I wish
You tried to
that.
snuff her?
I wish that to have translated as like a point of.
No, I meant as
I was putting
quiet.
myself out on
Okay.
a limb and you gave nothing and I'm leaving. That was a little bit of that point. Just
Okay.
throwing that out there.
All right, we'll follow
Use the
Heinrich
wrong
then for a
term
second.
again.
Huh?
Nothing.
The bomb?
You walk towards Helm's Temple.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, it's at first like a bit of like a, what the fuck? Who are these people still? I thought we were getting somewhere, and then like I can't believe it. And then
Yeah.
there's also a bit of like I'm home, so like I'll just walk where I'm familiar and kind of like recenter myself.
Sure. And as you walk, your feet naturally carry you kind of to the main stretch of Port Quinn, which leads through the market district and then out into the castle district. And as you do, you catch sight once more of Helm's Temple. At this point, getting close to 5:36, it's getting really dark. The last bits of red and pink are just fading on the horizon. You can see some clouds. Looks like maybe there's snow in the forecast for tomorrow.
What's a forecast?
But silhouetted
Uh-huh.
against that is Helm's Temple. This fairly small temple that in the dark looms large over you.
Does that seem weird?
Given what you've experienced there,
Nothing
no.
seems weird. Okay.
Thought about you clockwork undead.
Anyone guarding it?
No. Seems as empty as it was during the day.
Okay.
People seem during the day to be like walking around it.
I'll do like a single pass.
Question, obviously.
Kind of like observing it and the surroundings, looking for anyone watching it, watching me, and
I
also
said
then
that.
anything inside of it.
Make a perception check.
12 plus 13.
No. I'll text you. Or I'll just tell you later.
Yeah.
With a 13, walking around, the only thing that really stands out is this kind of padlock, and you can see on it now, it is big. There is some kind of like symbology on it, and you can see it just in the way that it's raised from like the little bit of sun that's left. It's clearly like raised off the rest of it, but you can't make out a pattern of this range.
Okay.
Yeah, you're from Port Quinn. It is the seal of the Merchant Council, which
Okay.
is just, like a
Right.
very, very simple
It's like a
pattern.
government lock, which means more than just a regular lock.
Yes.
Cool. I approach it.
Okay. You walk up the steps, heading up, and you can see the braziers on either side of you, cold and empty. You have this faint scent of sage that you remember being much stronger the last time you were here. And as you approach the door, you can now see much more clearly this is a heavy-duty lock and very new. There's still oil on it from its production.
This was, again, the only entrance.
Yes.
First thing when I'm
If
there.
if you were to read into the Port Quinn Town Guide,
Yeah.
you might have some idea as to why that is in most of the
Why
sites.
there's only one door and everything? Okay. All right. Oh,
And you would also know there isn't just one door, but the other doors are all within the sewers, and they're far
yeah,
out.
I mean that much for sure. And I'm not about to try to go in that way.
That would be a walk.
Yeah, and dangers. Any windows?
No.
Like higher up kind of things?
You'd remember that because it's just within this.
Wasn't there? I thought there was like some sort of like high up windows.
Oh, I brought it.
Yeah. Because I do remember the original layout. There was like that room, then the room behind it, and to the left there was.
It wasn't high up windows, so. The way that it looks.
So are you able to reach the pads without?
Okay, now we're good.
Close enough. So you currently are standing near the front door right here.
Mm-hmm.
So this is all open to the air.
Mm-hmm.
The braziers are around these 4 big supporting columns, go
Right.
up and support the actual roof.
Mm-hmm.
There are no windows, but this part is all technically open to the air. You do
Mm-hmm.
notice the benches have all been removed.
Hmm.
The locks are over here.
Mm-hmm. Can I look around just to see if anyone's noticing me?
Yeah. Make a
May
perception
I
check.
Also move this over.
12.
12. As far as you can tell, it's dark. There's not a ton of people out at this time. People are either in the bars or they're home.
Mhm.
So, doesn't seem like it.
Can I go up and inspect the lock, see how secure it is?
Yeah, you kind of just tug on it or something.
That first, and
Yeah.
just see how well made and hard to break it might be.
I mean, you
I
go
mean,
to,
it's
like,
solid,
pull it,
obviously.
and it's surprising how heavy it is,
Mhm.
to the point where like it doesn't come away at first. You have to really apply yourself.
Mhm.
This is you've never seen a lock this heavy.
Mhm.
This looks like it was probably designed to secure like a ship to a mooring.
Mm-hmm.
And now that you're at the lock, make a perception check. Or what's your passive perception?
11.
Okay.
Check or no?
Nope.
No. Trace the building, inspect the, anything that could be outside that would give me clues.
Aside from the fact that
Like
the sage has been cleaned away and the benches have been removed,
Yeah.
not a whole lot.
No, like scrapings or footprints or any markings of that
No.
kind of stuff?
And you don't see evidence that bodies have been moved out of here. You don't see like any kind of stains on the
Hmm.
outside. No.
Just locked and that's it.
Yeah.
I feel like I would just sort of slump against the wall and sit down and just start like thinking like what the hell, like why,
Okay.
what supernatural was beyond like what Twee was doing kind of stuff.
Sure. You sit there and you meditate on it for a little bit, and then you're kind of snapped out of it when beyond the door you do hear this kind of wet tearing sound,
Mm-hmm.
and then a brief kind of,
Ew.
and then silence.
Is that familiar to me at all?
No.
Based on anything I've encountered?
Um,
Even that shambling mound kind of thing? Or
didn't sound like a shambling mound.
sure, but you know. Can I like bang on the door?
Oh, sure.
Try to get its attention, whatever it may be.
You bang on the door. There's this loud bang.
Mm-hmm.
You can hear the bang actually like bang, 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 echo out inside of the small room,
Mm-hmm.
and you hear almost like this very pregnant silence,
Like it's waiting and listening, whatever's in there.
perhaps.
Bang a bunch more.
Nothing seems to happen.
God damn it. I kind of like walk backwards while like looking the building up and down.
Okay. You almost kind of stumble down the steps a little bit, but without too much trouble, you make your way down to the bottom, and it's a little bit above you now because you're down the steps.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not about to try to pick that and go in by myself, but
Yeah.
now I know something dangerous is in there, that's for sure.
Meanwhile, the rest of you back at Rose.
Will you let me finish talking?
I've been waiting. Shh.
You have the ground.
I was
You have the
saying
floor?
to Heinrich
You have
that I
our
was
ears.
listening, and Heinrich wasn't listening that I was listening,
But
and I'm saying
but
that I've been
Gunter.
listening because you can't say anything. You just keep saying, "Oh,
Just stunning.
mysterious ambiguity."
Can you stunning strike him?
We all take our time to explain the things we need to. Let's just be patient. I'll buy you a beer if you're patient.
Can I talk now? There are a faction of us that practice what is known as the shadow arts, which is likely what you encountered today.
Well, I was covered in shadows, so yeah, probably.
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 Before we came to Portland the first time, one of our members managed to slaughter a couple hundred monks.
It was probably this one. And the younglings.
No, but several marks for Gunter there.
Yeah. Where's that spring sound effect?
Chances are something's coming.
Well, yeah, she's coming to beat me up.
This note, I doubt it was left for you.
Well, that's why I gave...
Is it a threat?
Important to note also, I did not make a mistake on that.
Is it a threat?
The numbers are right.
What's it mean? I gave it to you because I knew it was for you. Sometimes I wanted to...
There's a war coming.
Is that what it says?
Would you like to read it?
She can't read!
Yeah, I
Tinsbury
can.
says she can read.
Yeah, she can read,
Here.
like, I can still make bowel movements
can
when
I read?
choose.
Tinsbury takes it and he holds it up to you and says, Tinsbury, he takes it, he
he's
holds
so
it up to you and
sweet.
says, see, it says, when Octus...
You were reading it!
She's
She's not reading-
Sky,
Oh my God.
He.
And
He
I'm
read
the
the
one
flaw.
who gets punched!
Gunter, just give me a second. He rent the flaw, and now he's like fully taking it in because it's hard for him to read.
Gunter's always given seconds. No one's giving Gunter seconds.
Twixt the raven and the gull. And there's some lines here. And then it says, but you were never one for flowery letters or the usual proverbs. Consider, is it madness to see how far one's quilt might stretch? Probably because it'll rip. There is always another way. Ninefold are the paths, or may you weave anew.
Oh, great.
And then it's
So,
kind of chewed up on the bottom like a rat got to it.
great. So, cool.
There you go,
Awesome. Great. Tinsbury can read.
Yeah,
Good point.
that's a good observation, Gunter. You're a dwarf.
I was sent to find out what I could about this member of our group. That is why I'm here.
All right, well, I found her. So we're gonna go kill her now, or what? I kind of want to kill her.
Can you decipher that for us?
Based on the description that you got, you would know that it's not the person that you are looking for specifically.
And yes.
What's this got to do with the star?
She's getting to it.
That I don't know.
Oh, just kidding. But can you decipher
All right,
the
so
note?
what you're saying
I'm
is
confused.
someone killed a bunch of your people. Now you're going off to find them.
Wait, what is this about?
Which I
Star?
think is very noble.
Don't interrupt me.
Sorry, Gunter.
And then now we gotta go find this other lady who is probably we could probably beat her.
Yeah, let's fuck her up.
I could have beaten her, but I was trying to use my fisties, and that's the fisties. It's the fist hall. She cheated. Anyway,
You just
we'll go
call them
find
fisties?
her. We'll get some answers from her. I'll be champion. It'll all work out. That's what you're saying, right?
I'm saying I'm returning north.
Okay, but what about this lady? Are we gonna beat her up?
Sure.
All right.
Absolutely, Gunter.
All right, I'm holding you to it.
Hold
You
me
owe
to
me.
it.
That's the deal. You got the letter?
You can beat up any shadow user I tell you. How's that?
All right, and you're gonna help me beat him up because you know she's gonna cheat again. You gotta cheat back. But I won't cheat so that when I win,
But if she's using magic and I can't use magic, how is that?
you punch her.
Okay. And that's cheating?
No, not
I'll stab her.
punching her isn't cheating as long as you use your fist, but you do your powerful fist. And punch her real hard.
Sure.
And then I'll come in and punch her
Yep.
again.
Okay.
And I'll be the champion, and then you can do whatever you want with her. I don't really care.
Absolutely.
Okay. Great. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Okay, I'll turn to Sade at this moment
Sure.
and say, got anything better to do? Wanna come with us?
Though we may not be on a ship, you are the captain. I will go where we are supposed to go. I will require a bit more payment to go north.
How much do I owe you right now?
So you very technically, because all of you, because you and Gunter and a little bit Heinrich have all paid the crew at different points, vastly over what you should have paid them. Very technically, aside from Sade and Kano, who has not accepted payment, they're paid up for the next month and a half.
Okay, but wait. That
So
didn't
we
answer
can just
Sade
do-
though.
Right, because Sade just told you she's gonna need a little bit more money.
Okay, how much you asking?
How far north are we going?
Are you familiar with Squall's End?
No. If it is not on a coast, I probably have not been there.
What would be the farthest coastal point Shay would be familiar with?
Farthest where?
Closest to the monastery on a coast.
Stone.
Or where would she know?
Yeah,
Stone flow.
just in
So,
where you're
Sade
going.
might
Yeah, the
have an idea.
furthest.
So,
where,
Stoneflow. You could get to Stoneflow and then trek up through the mountains, which is fairly treacherous, but there are fewer dangerous creatures there.
Sure.
You also need to go through the Strangling Straits,
Yep.
which is this area of ice that quickly freezes over to the point where if you're not on a dwarven Ironsides,
Yep.
you cannot get through.
Yep.
Easier to get to would be Gulliver's Bay, which you could then travel either on foot. I would say Shay probably knows that the Lorebinder Academy to the west of Gulliver's Bay has a teleportation circle that is linked to the Zinni Monastery.
Yep.
But it would either be Gulliver's Bay or Stoneflow. Stoneflow a little further to get to by sea, also very difficult to get to if you know the right ship.
If we're going by sea, the safest and most reliable way would be to go to Gulliver's Bay and then continue north from there on foot.
Okay, but wait.
Okay,
Why
I
are
can
we
get us to
going
Gulliver's
north?
Bay without any problem.
That still hasn't
But-
really been answered.
Why we're going
If
north?
we are only going to Gulliver's Bay and no
We're gonna
further,
go just tell them that you didn't
10
find
gold pieces.
anything? What's your plan?
Easy. And then you can decide from there if you want to travel with us on foot. There'll still be compensation, but your decision.
I
we shall see.
failed in my initial mission.
So you're
at
just gonna
least-
go back and tell them, oh, I failed, sorry. That's it? We're not even gonna go beat this lady up?
Part of it is included in that I have to go tell them that I failed. However, there is a component of tracking down those responsible and
Well, here we are.
throwing fists, so to say.
And here we are.
There we are.
All right.
Here we are.
So we can agree
Here we are.
that we should go beat this
Ta-da!
lady up.
And my thing turns into a picture of all of us here.
All of a sudden, Morwen's leather armor shifts. The little.
But we're all
sorry.
holding hands.
So Morwen's
holding
armor, which
hands.
currently looks exactly like Heinrich's, this kind of dark scale mail. The scales themselves shimmer and slowly shift into different colors, and all of a sudden, there's this mosaic of all of you guys in this room holding hands, open to the viewers, so that way it's all of you in a line, kind
Who
of.
am I standing next to?
Currently, you're sitting next to Sade, who just took the map from.
On the picture.
Yeah,
too?
you're holding hands with Sade. And Sade also looks at it and goes,
But in all fairness, if the circle was closed, we'd be holding hands.
But I'd be holding hands with Sade on that side.
yeah, either way, can you...
Is that the first time you said her name?
Okay,
properly?
fine. And I go like,
Yeah.
I said shot.
and you see the hands on the thing just apart. But yeah, so that's your armor. For the first time, you guys have now seen the glamoured studded leather armor that Morwen has. So,
That said, we are short one member.
Who is currently walking to the
Who's that?
6 little temple thing.
okay.
Heinrich. He walked out.
Who? Who?
Heinrich.
Oh, you mean Hendrik?
Yeah.
Ah,
Fucking hate you
Wait,
all.
what's his name? Because you call him Heimlich and you call him Hendrik, and I've
Yeah.
heard people call him Heinrich, and I heard somebody call him something even different.
no, it's Hendrik.
It's Heinrich.
Or Peeboo.
Regardless, he's not here.
All right, well,
Well, let's go find
you
him
know,
and
I find
introduce
it
you.
pretty funny, too, since
All right.
he took me from my pleasant drink after getting beaten up. Distinctly.
Sade turns to you. Are we going to find Heinrich?
We can't leave without him.
Okay. I'll be outside. And she walks very pointedly right by Gunter as he continues
I
to
kind
talk.
of like
A tripper.
shoulder check her a
I
little
tried
bit.
a tripper.
Make an athletics check. Or make an attack roll, technically.
It's like a discreet sleight of hand
Sure.
tripper.
Slide of foot.
Sleight of foot. Oh, yeah, that's a 22.
Oh, yeah, that definitely. Okay. So as Sade walks by, you stick your foot out, and she catches like the tip of her boot right on the underside of your heel and like stumbles forward, kind of like slamming her arm into the door, catching herself on the wall.
Watch your
I like-
step.
Oh, I'm not okay with that. I'm following
She
her.
kind of stands
Go
up
to-
and looks at you and just says, Gunter, I sleep much less than you. And she turns and walks out into the night.
I'm gonna follow her
Okay.
out, and I'm just gonna let's see, because okay, so how many days will it take to sail to?
Are you asking me or are you asking
Sade?
Sade?
Well, I mean, kind of both.
Okay.
She'd know too, right?
Well, she pulls out her map bag.
I think it's also fair to say, like, Sade and I, like, we're cool. Like, I can trust her.
She's not cool.
I think she's pretty cool. I think
Depending,
her and I are cool.
I think most people are pretty cool.
Depending
It's just you who has a problem with everyone for some reason.
weather conditions, we could
I
do it
have a
in
problem
3
with
days.
this,
Gulliver's Bay is not far, and it is not a hot sail.
All right, I'm gonna give you. Shit. How many people do we have on the boat?
Do you have a list?
I have a list.
Yeah.
She does not have a list.
point.
I'm gonna just like guesstimate 16. All right, I'm gonna give her 10 gold pieces and say, will you, while we're finding Hendrik, will you restock the boat will you take this time to like restock the boat and everything, and if there's any change?
She looks at the gold and kind of puts it back in your hand and just says, I mean, I have been running a ship store, so we have gold for general things for the ship.
Excuse me.
So we're well supplied?
Yes.
Shit. All right.
Part of what Sade
I
does
give her.
as a
I let her. I
quartermaster,
give her one and say, "Sorry for the old man."
that she does take. And she says, it is okay. I will slit his throat in his sleep. Heinrich, you make your way up. So snaking your way from Helm's Temple, you have to head northwest, and you go up this.
Who, me?
Yes,
Okay.
you.
Oh,
You
he's
go up this.
Gunter,
Oh,
sorry.
sorry, Heinrich.
Yeah.
You go up this cobblestone that actually slowly transitions into a much neater cut of these square brick stones that are kind of alternating bricks. You look around, and the houses here are much bigger and more doors. There are, on many of these, like porches. The architecture points it to being a little bit of a newer district. But you would know that this is the Quarter of Lords. The sort of, it isn't officially called the Quarter of Lords. The residents call themselves that.
It's more like what we call them.
Yes. It's technically part of the living quarter. But you know that there is this very, very small 20-foot tall stone structure that just has 6 very, very simple sort of shrines for the 6 gods of the pantheon of law and light. There is no door. It's always open archway.
Yep.
There's like a divot that runs along the door, so if it does rain, it kind of runs in and runs along. But it is open. There are candles lit. It appears empty at this time.
Kind of walk
Port
in.
Quinn's not a religious city, so it's typically pretty empty.
Yeah. Well, I walk in and I look for one of Helm.
Yeah, and so looking at it, it's set up always in the middle from what you've seen. You have Helm on the left, and then you have Tyr on the right, the god of justice with the scales. And then you see soon all of the gods.
Yes.
But Helm is
The one that
center
I'm
on the
looking
left.
for. Yeah.
And this
What's
particular
the
idol, these are
state?
very simple idols.
What is the state of the idol? Well kept, dirty, clean, whatever.
It is just like a stone plaque
Yeah.
that has one closed eye and one open eye. The right eye is
It's just it's the symbol of it. Then,
yeah.
Sort of.
It's a simplified symbol of Helm.
Is it? Does it need any cleaning?
Sure, yeah, it could use a little cleaning. The candles over time do let off smoke, and so there is like a
Yeah.
little bit of soot kind of coating the interior of this place.
I feel like on Helm's specific ideology, I would just kind of like do a little bit of cleaning, and then like sit back and kind of like look at it and contemplate. So who's in your house? Here. Who's in your house here right now? As I'm talking to what I would perceive to be some sort of like open channel potentially.
Sure. No response.
Like, what is going on here? Was it you before? Back in Farshore? Kind of like walk up closer to it and like put my hand on it. I'm just kind of like sitting. And then I close my eyes and just kind of like wait for a little while, but like try to reach out as best as I can in a similar manner to the way that I felt a response from Azra before.
Okay.
Trying to like mimic that open channel,
Okay.
but not in the way of, I'm not trying to reach Azra
I know.
at all, you know what I mean?
I know what you're trying to do.
I'm trying to, at least.
Okay. Roll 2 d10 for me.
Which one do you want me to tell you, or is it a percentile?
Percentile.
88.
Okay.
Weird.
It's quiet.
Is there any way that I can like try to like push into that unknown a little bit? I'm trying to recall almost specifically the feeling that I got from that.
The feeling that you got in that connection with Azra, you never
Not
got.
Azra, no. The feeling that I got from the person, the being, whoever it was, who's visited me twice now.
Perhaps.
Possibly, yeah.
You don't get any. There's no weirdness. You remembered, one of these things was like this weird kind of blurry face looming over you that then became Thistle as you woke up.
Mm-hmm.
Or sorry, Tank as you woke up.
Yeah.
And you remember the very bizarre experience within the church or the chapel of Law and Light in Farshore with Father Abel.
Mm-hmm.
And there is this moment where the words, huh?
I was just saying that's his name. Because we were struggling.
Not
for-
Abernathy. No, I looked it up.
Yeah.
Abernathy the Bender.
Yeah.
You recall the words very specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Even in darkness, there can be light. And it's hard. I mean, it just feels like an intrusive thought
Mm-hmm.
more than anything.
Can I look around to see if any of the other things here kind of like resound with that?
Sure. You turn around, kind of
Contemplatively, slowly, and
Sure.
I'm not trying to be hasty. This is not like a, if I don't feel anything now, then I'm like, like it's more just, it's like an open
You look at Helm
receptiveness to
with
it.
the shut eye and the open eye. It's a very simple figure. And you kind of turn and you see Soon, the goddess of beauty and art. This very simple symbol being, it's you don't know much about Soon, but it's this kind of like, it looks almost like a squiggly line with wings, but very simplified. And then next to that, a god, you have no idea, but it looks almost like a tower. And you kind of turn, and as you're turning and you look out the door, from this well-lit room, you look out into the darkness, and there's like a single kind of flake of snow that falls now as the clouds have kind of arrived and are obfuscating the moon. There's like a slight bit of light coming down. from where you're standing down the hill, past the gates of the Quarter of Lords, you can still see the dark shape of Helm's Temple.
And that stands out.
Even in this light place, yes.
I'd feel like I'd take one last glance to see if I missed anything in here before
Make an investigation
I shut
check.
down. 19.
Nothing that you're looking for. However, as you sort of move around and you're kind of like touching each one and just sort of examining them, you come to, if the pattern were to continue with these 6 gods and kind of go towards the door, on one side of the door there's a loose stone.
Mm-hmm.
And as you shift it away, it's a very flat panel of stone, very finely crafted.
Mm-hmm.
And there are dwarven runes.
Mm-hmm.
It appears that at some point a dwarf has come in and has kind of begun the process of adding the dwarven gods as well. You can't read the
No,
oh
that's
no,
fine.
you know what? No, you can't read the runes.
No, I know. I know. You
Yeah.
know, but I know, but you know, yeah.
Oh,
I'm like, huh. Interesting. And I just kind of like, nice. Good job, Parquin, I guess. While trying to recall everything that my brother had ever said while he was in his like early clerical studies, I slowly walked towards Helm's Temple again, I suppose.
meanwhile, what are the 3 of you doing with Sade and Tinsbury? You guys are heading out to look for Heinrich? Okay. For sake of brevity, because it's just so much easier. And actually,
Oh, Heinrich!
Let's also be clear too. I'm gonna change my armor from our picture of holding hands to like my usual attire.
okay. Easy enough. Morin goes back.
Just so
puts
I'm
it
not
back some
walking
more.
around with a portrait of
Ta-da.
all of us.
That's a good
Ta-da.
idea.
Ta-da!
Thank you.
Very flat. Just change. Nothing flashy or exciting about it. Okay. You guys end up, you guys would actually reach Helm's Temple first and actually go a little bit beyond it. So you would actually run into them before you get to Helm's Temple. But you guys sort of meet right in the middle of the road, basically.
Oh, so we catch up to you.
Not catch up. I mean, he got there and then is coming back in your direction now, and you are catching him before he gets to where he is going. It's a
Okay.
lot of words.
But we still but we're crossing paths.
Yes.
Okay. Hi.
Oh,
We're
we
going
have to
north.
be careful.
Well-
Says the guy who goes off in the middle of the time that we're supposed to be getting back together.
yeah. I mean, by oneself better than group, but now that we're all here, if anyone's watching, they know we're all together. Might as well. Marvin, I need your help.
Okay.
Can you come with me? Please.
Okay. What kind of?
And I'm just heading back towards the front of Helm's
Okay.
Temple.
Okay.
Okay.
Are you following?
No one needs
Yeah,
to be.
I'm not
Okay.
gonna.
And I'm gonna
not.
go back to doing the things that I wanted to do before I got
Yeah,
beat
that's
up.
fine. That's fine.
You're going back to the Dwarven Quarter?
Yeah, I'm gonna go try to scrounge up 2,000 gold to get some spices and herbs.
Okay. We're going to revisit that in a second.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. Meanwhile, the 2 of you, what are you doing?
2,000
feel
gold.
free to join if you'd
Okay.
like.
Roughly.
There's a
Sweet.
blight
I'm probably the
here
richest one, and I'm not even
in this
half
town.
that.
I need to take care of. If you would like to help, it would be certainly, probably appreciated.
We're going to the north, BT Dubs.
Yeah, that was what we said when we left.
Ah, I thought
Far
you left
shore.
already.
Well, when we left Far Shore. That's
You
what
had
My
said
bad.
that with Shay. It was a private conversation between the 2 of you.
Ah,
Morin wasn't there for it.
true. Yes.
Well, excuse me.
And we arrive at the front door of Helm's Temple, I'd assume.
Yeah.
I'm keeping still an eye.
Yeah. And,
And
you
would
know,
actually alert you. Please do be on the lookout if you can. Are you joining?
With what do you require assistance?
Well, something needs to be done about, and I just kind of like point at the temple.
and following his gaze, you can now see the door to the temple that you guys have been in previously, where the Midnight Assembly had originated. There are these huge chains with a large padlock holding it shut.
And I kind of like, while still maintaining eye contact and pointing, something from my past, something that I'm letting go of or trying to let go of, it won't be complete and I won't be of use until we at least deal with that. If you understand.
I'm already walking towards it.
24 hours.
Okay.
That's all I'll give you.
Don't know if we'll need more than that. Hopefully not.
You go up to the door and looking at this padlock.
And we're walking behind
Yeah.
as well.
You have seen locks like this before. These locks, the last time, and it's very similar, with the exception of the stamping on the outside. You're used to them saying Dungannon Navy. But these seem to have been maybe produced in the same place. But you've seen locks like this. They're not easy to pick. You've tried and failed multiple times. You've done it. It's possible. It's a tough one.
So this is what you need my help on?
Yes. I believe in you. And I think we could benefit from this right now.
I roll up my fur.
Yeah. Okay. So you're again.
My fur sleeve, so
it's
just
shaved.
bare skin.
This whole
No, I'm just
thing.
kidding.
This whole thing is almost bald already.
Yeah.
Because you
Well,
did
because
the
of
tattoo.
the tattoo. Yeah. All right.
Go ahead and make a lock picking check.
Is there any way that I can just like kind of like investigate the tattoo?
I mean,
That
you
Mormon
can
gave?
look at
There's
your tattoo.
many.
Can I just,
oh,
like,
I
it's
thought
not
you meant
infected.
mine.
Is there anything different about it? Just
Peeling
curious.
slightly.
Okay.
A little bit of peeling happening.
Just
there.
curious.
What is it? Thieves' tools. Okay, sick.
Yeah, this is like double proficiency for you, isn't it?
Sick.
What is it?
Can I try again? It's a critical fail.
Okay.
That
As
only
you
works in
are
combat.
Picking
Just give the number.
this lock, you kind of stick.
Well,
the,
it would be a 7
Okay, there
otherwise.
you go.
But I mean,
7 is important. It's better than a 5.
Right. Or
You
a one.
or
okay.
1. Yeah.
You
Which
spend
is
some
only
time
for
looking at it,
attacking.
and you feel yourself getting frustrated. It's just not moving. This is a tough lock.
Are we able to give it time for me to keep trying?
You can give it another try if you want.
I look around and keep trying?
Is there any way that I could possibly help?
Probably not.
I don't think so.
All right, I'm going to try my other dice. That's what I'm going to do.
I mean, I don't know.
You would tell me if there's a way that you think.
Oh,
I-
motherfucker. It's a 25.
Yeah. This time, like as you're getting frustrated, you kind of stop yourself and you just like go at it again. This time, like picking through the parts that you've been on before.
While she's doing this, can I be like, now, be careful. I did hear something on the other side, so be ready.
Now you tell me when it goes click.
Yeah, right as you
Yeah.
it just clinks open and the whole thing
You
just,
know what you're
The
doing.
whole thing
And it's-
drops and you go,
it's heavy,
now you tell me.
and in your hands,
I
it
go.
almost pulls you down. This lock is like a 20-pound lock.
I hope you know what you're doing.
This is the only thing that I could do to be useful, else I have to write this character off. I feel.
The chains, like clash on the ground. These are big chains. As far as you can tell, the door is open. And currently,
I would be going in first. I don't think that I would let anyone else go in first.
So
I'm not going to fight you
just
for
pick
it.
the lock.
Door is yours.
You're in front of the door. Where are you, Shay?
Behind them.
Directly? Downstairs?
Maybe like offset just a little bit. Yeah.
so you're out kind of like in the street, off the stairs.
Like at the bottom stair.
Sure.
Like
What do you do?
Knock. Listen.
Hello? No, I'm kidding.
No.
You you knock.
Come in.
Trying
There's this
to
kind of-
recreate the same interaction to see if there's any sort of sounds.
There's a hollow kind of like thud thud. No sounds. What was your passive perception? 18?
yeah.
Slowly push the door a crack and try to peer in.
Okay. Even with the crack, I mean, this door hasn't been opened for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
And so you hear like the, again, loud creak. I'm not going to do the noise because my throat.
That's fine.
But, perfect.
That's just Gunter.
But it's like a short little...
That's just Gunter drinking in the background.
You
That's
crack
Gunter
the door
rubbing
open
up.
slightly. It's
For
dark within, but with dark vision. You quickly kind of scan the room.
Looking for a pile of bodies, which is the only thing
There is a
described
pile of
that was
bodies.
inside. Yeah.
The first thing that hits you is the smell. It's just heavy decay
Yeah.
and old. It's
Yeah.
hot and putrid, and as it bubbles through the door, it stings your nostrils and ears, which is kind of a new thing for you.
Well, yeah. Before that was like the norm. Well, not the norm, but
You just didn't shower much. In the center of this chamber,
more
I'll
based on
indicate
the
with
cheese
roughly
room.
This. There's a pile, a mound of corpses that ascends. Looks like most of them skeletons and clockwork pieces that are now beginning to show signs of corrosion.
Yeah.
But there are, you see a very badly decomposed gnome with the hatchet still sticking out of his head, kind of like half slid out of the corpse pile.
I remember the golden rings.
Yes, you.
Ew.
Oh yeah, that was him.
Yeah.
I wrote
And
this.
that
early.
zebra wood dildo.
Oh.
This is before the stream. You.
And the fuzzy handcuffs.
Yeah.
Things were real weird before this.
Gunther had a lot of fetish shit. Still has some of it.
Anyhow.
You would also notice that the topmost thing on the pile does wear the torn and shredded and very much bloodied elements of like a guard's outfit.
Mm-hmm.
And as your eyes adjust a little bit to the darkness, you can see his eyes are open and they kind of shift and look at you ever so slightly. This look of like panic.
The guard.
Yes. But he's not moving.
Panic.
Yeah.
Can I tell from me or from something else in this room?
Make an insight check.
Thank you. 5.
5? It's kind of hard to read.
Because he's dead. Yeah.
At first
well,
you thought he
fuck
was,
me.
but as his eyes kind of flick up to you,
Yeah.
and like the pupils are shaking ever so
Yeah.
slightly, like you look scared.
Yeah. I'm going to look around the room for anything else.
Okay. You like look around,
Just
and
like,
you can see
it's like quick glance. Because
You
it's
see-
like, I can't tell if he's scared of something else in this room or
table?
if he's scared of me.
Sure. You see the table? Still
Yeah.
like dark bloodstains on it from
Yeah.
the surgeries that have happened here.
Yeah.
You'd remember here there used to be a series of very, very fine surgical implements that are no longer there.
Right, and then the
There's a
secret door
brazier
in that area.
that is empty, and you remember that there was a secret door. It's not exposed. They've removed all the furniture.
Yeah.
The door is actually ajar.
Uh-huh.
And there's this big pile of bodies.
Yeah.
You can see like the top of the ladder descending down.
Yeah. I'm going to kick it open.
Kick what open?
The door.
The door is ajar. So you can see like through the
I'm
door.
going to kick that door all the way open.
Okay. So you kind of like step over the bodies.
Oh, no,
Through the
no.
bodies,
No,
right?
no, 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 no. The door to the... You said the
Oh,
door to the
oh,
front's
I see
ajar.
what you're saying, I see
I'm
what
going to
you're
open the door while standing in the entrance.
Sure. You now
Without
open it
entering.
all the way open.
Yeah.
A little bit more light comes in.
Yeah.
A lot of these bodies badly decomposed. The guard's not so much, and now you can clearly see he is alive. His left leg is gone,
Yeah.
up to just above the knee.
Uh-huh.
His right leg looks like part of the calf has been torn away.
Mm-hmm.
There is blood like congealed around it,
Mm-hmm.
so it doesn't look terribly fresh.
Mm-hmm.
It looks like
Something's eating him?
yes.
Yeah. Currently?
You don't see anything eating him, but it looks like something probably was very recently.
Yeah. Are you okay? Can you speak?
As you say that, you can see the pupils just kind of flick up.
And fuck me. I pull both daggers out and I just kind of like look up and get ready to fling it. And if there's anything up there that looks threatening, I'm going to fling it at.
Sure. I need everybody to roll initiative. I'm going to start with you in that combat round.
Yeah.
Give me just 1 second here to get this already. I was hoping you would come here.
Yeah, I fucking know. Somehow.
Oh, yay, we didn't disappoint you this time.
No.
I need.
No.
You don't disappoint me.
So much of what Joe's predictions are is also a game that I'm trying to read because if we just do whatever we want, we won't do what Joe wants us to do. But also something that I would like to do. This is important. I need to clean this place. It needs to be restored.
It doesn't need to be restored. but
I
it's
want it to
certainly
be
nice.
fucking restored. I find it very important. I need to
Alright.
protect and clean and help and care for. God damn it. After losing Thistle, it still hurts me too.
All right.
You don't even know.
Anybody natural 20?
No.
Okay, good start.
Not me.
25 to 20.
21.
Brackish Audacity 29.
20, okay.
Well, I rolled a 19.
Because of my description, could I have also gotten this off?
You're going to get a surprise. You're
Okay,
gonna
cool.
get
And then I'll go
your-
last because I got a 4.
Oh,
Just so
that's-
you know.
that's one big
Shay,
Just
what'd
put
you
me
get?
last.
You
Says
can
almond.
have
Oh,
that.
tinks.
Shay, what'd you get?
21.
All right, so it's going to be Morwen first and then Shay. But what I'm going to say, so as you look up, Heinrich, you see, at first, these two dark shapes. Large, almost like bits of the stone are dripping down. Then you catch that as something very, very unsettling.
Yes.
That they're on the ceiling.
These shapes
Eating
do have,
people.
ever so slightly, a slight purplish, blackish cast. And as they drop,
Yeah. Is that shade familiar to me?
one slams down onto the table, one just right into the pile of bodies and corpses, and like much of it just spreading out in a very wet way underneath it. You can see long, segmented body with almost metallic-looking, dark purple, black scales. Although when you really look, you can just see through them. These large sort of pincers and a series of tentacles that just writhe around. You see like this sort of film dripping off of it. Go ahead and make your attacks with these daggers. You said you're going to throw them. So
Yeah.
as they're dropping, you're throwing these daggers.
Yeah, 2 at the same one.
Sure.
First one. So that is 4 plus 6, so it's 25.
25. 25 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
Wait, no, I'm sorry. It's not 25. It's 21. 21.
Yeah, that doesn't
Still hit? No?
That hits.
Yeah, okay, fine. So first, that's 4
Okay.
damage, because I can't do shit, and this is why it's
And
important.
you're throwing them too, so
Yeah,
you're
crit.
losing this ammo.
Nice. Look at that. Natural 20 for a thrown dagger.
6.
Okay.
Yeah, you're laughing, but like, I'm gonna just like
As the
kill
first-
Heinrich now
as the
or
first-
level him.
Oh.
This is
as
why
the-
this is important.
Great
We're good?
question.
Yeah.
As the first thing detaches and begins to drop, you
It's just
fire
like,
these
boom,
two
boom.
daggers. One of them, like, it almost seems like it passes through, although elements of it, like, rip off as it sinks into the ceiling. The second one goes, like, deeper into the head region, and you hear this kind of, as it, like finally hits the ground. The dagger kind of, like, loosely hangs and then slowly drifts down and drops to the floor.
Right.
It seems like it hurts.
Cool. Is there anything else that I can do right now?
I don't believe so. You can move. Yeah, we're gonna move.
I'm gonna try to like dodge roll through and behind it, and if I can, try to like somehow get that guy that was still alive to come with, or is that too much?
Make an athletics check.
Okay.
You know what? That would be too much because you already did the attacks.
The attacks.
So,
Okay.
but I mean, you can stop like right over him and then pull him on your next turn if you want.
Yeah, I'm just kind of preparing
Okay,
to do that.
sure.
Just protect this poor dude.
No worries. Morwen, what do you want to do? Shay, you're on deck.
You know what I want to do. I'm gonna puss and butts that shit.
There you go.
And they're next to a
Ally, so I get sneak. No.
So you're stepping through the door.
Oh hell yeah.
Okay. So you come up into contact with this huge creature, and now that you're up next to it, the eyes are like gleaming, solid cast gold.
Sick.
There's a minute where they look a little bit like Heinrich's eyes. What do you do?
I puss and butts that.
Yeah, go ahead. Roll your attack.
So, well, I didn't sneak, so, well, can I get the sneak advantage when it's next to an ally?
I'm gonna say because. Yeah, you're rolling an advantage because it's next
So
to an
that's
ally,
rolling
you're
an
fine.
advantage and sneak attack on the first one. Or
If you are
no.
hidden, then you
That's
get,
when I get the sneak attack bonus.
correct. And you get a sneak attack
No,
bonus
it's-
because
you
of
get it-
your character. Anytime that
When
you're
it's
rolling at
advantage,
advantage,
yeah.
you're getting your sneak attack on the as only but once a turn. That's the thing. So
Well, yeah, I'll use it now, though.
go ahead.
Yeah. Alright, I'll just roll both. Okay. 19.
19 hits.
Okay.
Max.
Max.
Nice.
Nice.
Alright, so that is 13 plus
All of your d6.
which is 5.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Okay, so
Hold up.
13,
Max against.
19, 23, 27, 29, 35.
Damn. So you like throw these daggers, you do like the tuck roll, and you
Yeah.
land like shielding this guy with your body. And in your
Yeah.
mind, this is a moment where you're like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And then Mormon just like this you see the eyes.
I would say
first.
that was an impulse to do that in the
Oh,
first
for sure.
place.
And
There was
and
no hesitation. in
all of
that
a sudden
move.
you just see these large, man, I really wish this loop, but I don't know why this one won't do it. You would see the eyes appear first, the green cat eyes, and suddenly they loom in, and you see like the faintest bits of fangs that are becoming like the smile as Puss and Butts lash out. The
a little
rapier
Cheshire-y.
pierces through the entirety of this creature, like skewering it straight through. You pull the rapier out, and maggots come with it, like flowing out, although they evaporate into the air. You come along with the short sword, you sweep up, and it actually cleaves off some of the tentacles attached to its face. This thing is looking hurt. That is your turn.
Wait, no, I can still butts, right?
Yeah, you should, but
That was just Puss, right? Yeah. I forget, 35 damage. Yeah.
yeah.
Damn.
I mean, level 9, dude. Come on.
Uh, 9.
Do you still have advantage
9 to 5.
because it's within
No,
it? It's only-
my second attack doesn't.
Gotcha.
Gotcha.
So the
It's
second
never
one,
it's never gonna have advantage.
as you pull the rapier away, like the tentacles sloughing off to the side, you swing up and it manages to recoil away, this time much more weary of you. It's looking real hurt.
I no, Miles. I'm going
It's just been 2
to
weeks, just reminding.
Ooh, what am I going to do? I'm going to okay, I'm going to move I'm gonna move actually just next to you.
Okay.
And also try to protect this guy. 'cause
As you
that's
were-
what I would do.
As you were hitting him, you just hear me shout like, "Haha, yes!"
Actually, I don't think I saw the guy, but I saw you dodge over there, and I know that you, the best you had was 2 daggers, so I'm going to move next to you.
Yeah.
So you remembering, like, Heinrich hasn't been using any of his powers lately,
Yeah.
you just chase after him.
Yeah.
That is Mormon's turn.
And you would
Shay,
see me like
what do
shielding
you
this
want to do?
guy, being like,
Can I get a sense of like what's
Well, I don't know
going
if he's
on from
alive,
where I
in
am
all
currently,
fairness.
or do I need to get closer?
It's dark in there.
There's no light at all.
0. In the 5 feet within the doorway, there is like extremely dim light, and then it's darkness after.
like an uncanny amount of darkness.
No,
Okay, well,
for a human though, sure.
sure.
It's real dark. For a
That
human,
was
though.
more of a perceptive question for
no,
me too.
not for you.
No, I mean in general.
I'll go up and put myself in the doorway.
Okay.
And then because it's dark, I think I'm just gonna swing out with the staff.
Okay.
Sort of like
Kind of a sweep.
nice. I
Make an
like
attack
it.
at disadvantage.
It's gonna miss, but it's fine. Yeah. 10?
10. Nothing. It's real dark in there.
May I groom you, please?
Is really right now? Anything else you want to do in your
Oh,
turn?
I thought yours was done. I'm sorry.
I'll take the second one. Just
Yeah,
'cause-
go ahead.
She could have kept going and talking.
You can't do that. He's just pulling eyebrows.
It's so hard. 20.
Okay, yeah, dirty 20 definitely
cat,
hits.
I agree.
So you, and then go lower and whack, hit something solid.
Wayfinding.
10.
Nice, Max. Woo.
So, the rest of you see in this darkness, Shay, like over, and then, and it hits.
Oh,
you
that
see-
totally clues me on what I'm going
You
to
see
do
the
next
creature
time.
turns, and as the
Seeing
creature
or
turns,
whatever.
the staff hits it square in the head. You see like part of the lower jaw separate, and like from the force of this blunt impact, one of the tentacles actually separates off.
Mm-hmm.
The head kind of like snaps a little bit too far around for the body, and it
Mm-hmm.
onto the ground, dead.
It's nice.
Yeah, that sneak attack did a lot of damage.
There you go.
Anything else?
No, I'm gonna chill there.
Okay. Top of the round, that brings us to Morrowind. What are you doing?
I'm gonna Puss and Bust our next friend.
Yeah, make your attack.
And I can't do sneak attacks.
I'm gonna say you're.
I mean, I'm
Yeah.
right next to it. as
Yeah,
well.
you can.
Really?
Yeah, Heinrich is adjacent to it as well. You have an ally with it. So.
Yeah, that's why I got fucking in there. You're welcome.
Slutty! Alright, it's a 26.
Yeah, 26 definitely hits. As you like slide backwards, landing where you are, you immediately spring forward. It's like this fencer lunging position.
Alright, so that is why am I being stupid? That's an 8, 11, 15, 18, 21, 23.
All right, 23 points of damage. This time, like sliding through, you don't hit quite as nicely. You have to like balance the backwards momentum, but you still hit it, and it kind of pierces through and like shreds a side of it away. More of the maggots spill out into the darkness and evaporate into nothing. Anything else?
Butts.
Yeah, make your attack with butts.
Butts is not doing well. That's a 12.
Yeah, and as you like step forward with butts, your foot slides in still wet blood, and you kind of like have to stop and balance yourself. Doesn't hit, unfortunately. That is more, and that brings us to Shay.
Just in
The corner.
hearing, can I get a sense of where this is?
Yeah, you have a vague sense. You can wander in.
5 foot step to kind of adjust and kind of a similar.
Yeah, what's the band for? Where it died?
That's where
That's
For
just a
the
pile of
final
corpses. I didn't draw them on because then you would know that there's a pile of corpses in
it's
there.
still a disadvantage.
There.
Yes.
18.
18 hits. This time, kind of staying lower to the ground where its torso stays planted, you swing and hit something solid.
7.
Okay. It just digs in. You feel like a little bit of the exoskeleton maybe cave in. It's feeling pretty hurt. You can't see it, but for the rest of you, it's looking kind of hurt. That is your turn, or
No, I got 2 more hits.
flurry of
technically.
blows, all right?
No, not even. This is before Fury.
Really?
Yeah.
Level 9.
Jesus.
Monks.
And monks.
21.
21 hits.
6. 18.
18 hits as well.
8.
8. So you walk in, and at this point you can't really see, so you're just furiously swinging the staff around. You hit almost every time. There are a couple times where you're like swishing around and missing, but you're just beating this thing again and again. For the rest of you, you're seeing this creature just like take a big whack, and like part of the skeleton caves in, and another like whack, and the eye like bends inwards and kind of ruptures. Little bits of darkness like seeping out of it. It's looking real bad. That is your turn?
That's it.
Okay, that brings us to its turn. There's so many bodies right there. Okay.
Yeah,
This
there's not a lot of mobility in this room.
Yeah, this time it is going to do something a little different. The tentacles spread out wide as it turns to what did the most damage to it. And Morin, it's going to make an attack against you. The tentacles
Okay,
like
dodge.
the tentacle. Okay, no, tentacles go straight out as it reaches for you. That is going to be a 23 to hit.
Is there any way that I could use a reaction to interpose myself?
No.
I don't have an ability for that. Damn it.
Yeah, if you had Sentinel as a feat, you could
Yeah.
probably do something like that. So that hits 23?
Yeah.
Okay. You take 4 poison damage as these tentacles like around you, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Oh dear. Well, that's a 13.
13. So as the tentacles latch around, you're aware that there are these little burrs in them, and they puncture your skin. Not enough to do a lot of damage, but all of a sudden you feel this numbness spread across, and all of a sudden you can't move your arms or your shoulders or your body. You are paralyzed.
Oh.
I don't have paralyzed immediately. Yes. And it is going to make its second attack against you. This is going to be an advantage because you're paralyzed.
Okay.
It's a 19 to hit.
Yeah.
19 hits. This is its bite attack, so that's going to be... Oh, good.
Good.
For you. That's going to be 4 points of piercing damage.
Yeah.
As its little teeth, like the ring of bites, just kind of like it's almost like a grinding motion as they move around to rip off bits of flesh. You're able to keep it at arm's length. That is its turn. Heinrich, what do you want to do? It's like it's attacking.
Yeah. Jump on its. I'm
see,
jumping on its head with my last dagger that I have. Like I saw this happening.
Sure.
And I want to like both like try to like stab it and get it off of her and interpose myself in the way.
Okay.
Like I know, based on the maggots, I think, or at least I get the sense, I know where this is coming from, and it doesn't have any business trying to take down anyone else but me. That's how I'm feeling about it.
Sure, make your attack roll.
Kind of sucks because I think they're kind of cute. Not gonna lie. You see their
Well,
cute
it's not
little
gonna
bug
happen,
faces?
'cause
Little bug
daggers
faces are
and stuff.
adorable.
Da, da,
Grab
da,
the
da,
dead
da,
one.
da, da. 13.
Yeah.
13.
I think they're cute.
I mean, I'm sure it's not going to damage it, but I'd at least like throw myself onto it in the same action.
Give me 1 second here. 13 just hits.
Oh fuck!
That is
okay.
exactly what you needed to hit.
Well,
So
motherfucker.
go ahead and roll your damage. It's a big creature, so it's
Yeah.
not like it's especially
And
hard
low
to hit.
decks and everything.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
think they're kind of cute.
All right. That's a 5,
A 5.
and I'm trying to like plant and hold on and like leave it in.
I don't
that
mind
helps.
them. I wouldn't cuddle one, but they're cute-ish.
As you leap into the air.
Cockroaches are the only thing I don't mess
All set?
with. Sorry.
Thank you. As you leap into the air, the single dagger in your hand, there's a moment where time seems to stretch and freeze almost around you.
Mm-hmm.
And you're aware of the fact that like you are still moving. It's creeping along. And you feel within you this kind of space that has been sort of full of this rotten feeling for so long seem to just disappear. And suddenly you're aware of the fact that this dagger is planted within this creature's head.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a moment where you feel this burst of pain in your right eye. And for a moment, you being right there, do you have dark vision? You do have dark vision.
Mm-hmm.
You can see that Heinrich's right eye is now pitch black.
Ew.
This creature is now dead. And you stand in a dark room. Shay, you hear this, and you can guess that this creature is dead. There's a moment. It's very still. What do you want to do?
Get this guy out of here.
Okay.
Well,
I don't know that
I
this guy
can't.
exists. Also.
Am I able to get out? Like when he's dead, am I unparalyzed?
No, you're paralyzed. And, so,
Sick.
I mean,
Alright.
the way that this works, actually, interesting point
So
of fact of this.
yeah.
You make a Constitution saving throw.
16?
Your body like just manages like as you're like starting to fall down.
Could I have
you, like,
also-
just catch yourself a little bit and kind of like shrug the effects of the poison off?
Could I also be like
Worse than
eating?
like a sleepy leg.
I mean, she got it by over 3. So she's
Yeah,
good.
yeah, but like in the moment, it's like the stab, the burst of pain, the thing dying, and then knowing that Marwan got hit. Like just look and see how she's doing.
Yeah, I mean, looking over, she looks okay.
Okay, all right.
I mean, probably like a little rough, but nothing crazy.
When I fall, or when I regain movement, I'm like,
Yeah.
not my first rodeo.
And I turn and look at the guy.
Oh yeah.
I look at the guy who was on the ground before.
His eyes are still like looking up at you.
Let's get him out.
Are you okay? And I start to like pick him up and I'm like, can someone help? Like, are you?
And as you pick him up, he's warm to the touch.
Yeah.
But his whole body is like trembling. He's in shock.
Yeah. Like, we need to get you
Out.
out to anyone who
Only
can
you had
help.
a healer.
I know. I don't have any health potions left. Is there anything about these creatures that I can discern, like where they came from or
Yes.
anything?
Really looking at these now, you think back across your experiences with Azra, and you think about all those little maggots that have come out of all of these wounds, these big worms.
Mm-hmm.
Never really looked closely at the maggots, but now looking at these large worm-like creatures,
Mm-hmm.
there is a similarity.
Mm-hmm.
Beyond that, though, you feel a strange detachment from it. Whereas before there was this kind of shudder of fear after separating yourself from Azra,
Mm-hmm.
you just don't really feel anything.
For good measure, I kind of like extend my hand, and in the same way that it felt to do it before, at its head, I cast Eldritch Blast.
Okay. You hold out your hand,
It's a test.
and nothing happens.
Nothing happens at all.
Nothing.
And I turn my hand, I close it, I look at it, and my stomach growls.
I'm sure that got picked up on the stream
It
too.
did, yeah. And then instead I just punch down on it instead.
And it just like sinks into this gross, inky ichor, and it's just this overwhelming smell of rot and like old festering wounds and
Yeah.
like dark earth and deep, dark, like damp iron smell. And it's like kind of repulsive.
Yeah.
You like
I almost relish in the fact that it's actually repulsive as opposed to familiar.
yeah. You looking now at Morwen, though, there is something about her being hurt that is different to you for some reason.
I also want to mention that while this is happening, I'm probably looking at you like not scared, but like a little.
Concerned?
No, like
Put off?
yeah, like I'm like, who am I with right now?
And I just turn and I'm like, are you okay?
I don't know. They had your eyes for a second, and your eye, and
My eye? What do you mean?
didn't it go black?
It did, and it's still black.
It's
Do I see out of both?
Yeah, you can. Your vision isn't any different.
Like, what do you mean by
Actually,
my eye?
incorrect.
Huh.
Now that you're looking around, you look at the so back in the very, very back of this workshop.
Uh-huh.
You remember above where all those tools were.
Uh-huh.
In Gnomish, there were written like little labels.
Uh-huh.
You read scalpel. You can read this Gnomish.
And just
Does anybody have a torch?
yeah. Yes.
From the darkness.
Yes. Sorry. So sorry. And then just like
And
sorry.
yours in the corner,
yeah.
like,
And I like
what?
strike
Whose
it and I
eyes?
like
Whose eyes?
light it.
This torch.
And I know
Nice
that.
to see.
And I say,
This torch like
and I'm like,
and lights the interior now.
we need to get this man out of here and get him to safety. You
Did
swear
light the-
you're okay.
Did you light the torch?
Yeah.
Yes, and now Shay, you can see for the first time. There's just probably about a dozen dismembered and decayed bodies spread out, including
I'm
one.
springing into action, by the way, after you're done describing the scene.
And now I'm gonna go a little bit
wait.
into fear.
Yeah.
Yeah. You also notice that Heinrich's right eye is just completely jet black, whereas before it was gold.
Got a little something right there.
Okay, I'm fine. This man needs help. These things are dead. That's great. These
And
bodies
even
are
as you're
kind
looking
of
at them,
dangerous.
they're beginning to kind of
You-
like melt a little bit, like almost
Yeah.
decompose. And as you watch, like the flesh begins to kind of wriggle and writhe, and it is breaking down into maggots that are sinking into the stones.
Yeah. we need to get this man help right now, and we need to.
You know the city better than the rest of us. Where's the closest help?
That woman and the fucking the only other healer who lives here, the retired one from the red.
In the Quarter of Lords,
Yeah.
there is a
She used to
there's a
travel
healer.
with like the red shield cavalry or whatever.
Yep, she's a retired Red Shield caravanserai healer.
Healer, yeah. We need to get him over there. That's close to the Green Keep. Green Keep.
Yeah, it's in the district next to the
Right,
Green Keep.
which is also the people who locked this place off, who would need to know that this place has been taken care of
How-
and bring help.
Heavy does this guy look?
well,
He's been chewed up.
missing most of his left leg, part of his calf. Now that he's kind of like been dragged out a little bit, you can see like there's parts of his shoulder missing. It appears that, and now Morwen, you having experienced the toxin for a little bit, this guy is probably paralyzed and has been being eaten over the course of probably a couple hours, if not a day or two.
You would
And
hear
Heinrich,
also.
you would know
Yeah.
that he's been being eaten for the past like 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, and you would hear me curse Azra under my breath. As I shoulder him and try to like just feel as like it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay to this guy.
Yeah.
Well, I'll help you and also try to
I'm
calm
faster.
him down.
Just help me carry him. I don't think you could do it on your own. Just like let's get this guy there. I'm gonna go bring him myself. Yeah, but I'm gonna bring him myself. I need to bring him myself.
Okay.
So off towards that
All right.
direction we
You
go.
begin running with this individual
Yeah.
like half eaten
And-
over your shoulder.
And when we get kind of closer to the keep too, I'm just gonna just start being like, "Help!"
Okay.
just to also like draw attention because
I'm
he's
gonna
seen
say-
things. Just to explain, the rationale is that
sure.
this dude has seen things, the things that we killed. So there's also justification, or rather, like a bit of verification
Yeah, you
on
begin
these
to
things
yell.
that whose bodies have decomposed and disappeared. So like, oh shit, if someone were to go back and no one were to trust us because we just showed up, but this dude's a town guard, so like they would trust him, kind of thing.
You believe, or you begin to yell like for help,
Mm-hmm.
and running through. You think about this healer that you're going towards,
Mm-hmm.
and as you think of that word. I need to get to the healer.
Mm-hmm.
You feel this kind of in your hands.
And I focus on that feeling while running at the same time, just like, and like tense up and like push more in that direction if I can.
Something about healing.
Yeah. Can I like see if that what that feeling did, like in my hands where I'm holding him, like what happened? If they would even see anything
in your
either.
mind,
Uh-huh.
a single word
Uh-huh.
kind of coalesces,
Uh-huh.
and it is the word which you would use to cast healing word.
Well, fuck me. And I, while shouting help, I like shout that word too, not the same time.
And it can be
like
whatever
afterward.
word you want.
Yeah.
I'm leaving that for your discretion.
I'll
but-
have to figure
yeah,
that out too.
As you say that,
Uh-huh.
you cast Cure Wounds on him,
Well, fuck me.
which is... How badly do you think he needs help?
Fairly badly. 3
Yeah.
days of being eaten. Holy shit. I mean, it's going to be I don't have any other way to cast it
So
if
go
we're
ahead
doing
and roll...
with this.
Oh, true. Yeah, cast Cure Wounds at your max level.
Yeah.
It's a 5th level Cure Wounds.
Yeah, which is 2d8 plus my charisma modifier if we're going with this new thing.
What's the charisma modifier?
It is 5.
Okay.
So 10. That's 16.
Okay. As you cast for the first time, you say this word, like you feel it in your head, and you just kind of almost questioning, say it out loud.
Wait, no, wrong. Sorry, I clicked on the wrong spell.
Sure.
Oh my god.
It's a lot more.
It's a lot more than that.
Yeah,
5d8.
that's what I thought. You don't need to roll for healing.
Yeah, so that
he has
plus
15 health. So you like say this word, and there is this woof of gold,
36.
of gold white
Six out of
light
D8.
I know.
that spreads out across your hand,
5d8 plus my charisma.
cascades over this individual. You can see like the injuries healing themselves. You see the shoulder, the skin like weave itself shut as this glowing gold white light kind of spreads out.
I'd like to imagine as I'm running and doing this and feeling him repair. I'd like
I
kind
really
of.
hate that you're doing this because it makes
Well, 'cause
me
I'm-
think of the
The Neuroturon?
Yeah.
No, it's like body part, like leg
it's Area
stumps and
51.
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's Area 51. No,
It's okay.
and like I feel like as I'm running like this, I would kind of like slough him off and then just like lay him down to the ground, and just continue whatever this thing is, and just like watch the reaction.
And
That's
you
how.
pump this healing into him. It doesn't seem to have an effect on the toxin,
Yeah.
but the physical injuries themselves mend up exceptionally well.
Mm.
He's missing his legs. Or his left leg is
Will
completely missing.
happen
Actually,
when something gets consumed by someone.
his
else.
right calf does like mostly grow back.
Oh shit!
His left
that's
leg
weird.
is just kind of a stump, but he seems, other than the fact that he's paralyzed, very healthy.
Mm-hmm.
He's at max health. Twice technically.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a moment too
Yay, we
doing
saved a
this
life.
Holy shit!
where you can almost see with one eye around that darkness this gold glow as you cast that spell. And in this moment, you're aware of this almost warmth behind you within your bag.
I mean, without being rude to the man I just healed, I turn around and look in my bag. And look for. Excuse me, hold on.
Well,
Something just
we're all
shat in
there,
my
though,
bag.
Right? We're all there, right?
You guys are like probably about 30 feet behind because he just took off sprinting.
well, I mean, but we're faster than him. We can keep up.
Yeah, but if he took off first, I'm thinking he moved, so he's like 30 feet. If you want, you can catch up to him, no problem. But this is all happening very quickly. Were you following him?
Yes.
Yeah,
So then you're
I
like
remember helping
then
with
you're
the
like,
bodies.
yeah,
so
then you're like
yeah.
5 feet behind him.
So I'll
So
be
like as I'm
Tending to the.
Okay, you watch.
so as I'm like steadying him, I'm
people.
just like this is all
Or the
really
person.
fast, and I'm just like
I'm
and then I-
totally watching him though because he's super sus to me right now.
pull the bag off, and I just like start reaching in for something, whatever it is.
And as you reach in, your hand comes around this almost leathery feeling tome. Not like any of the books that you have, not like one of your journals. And it's warm to the touch.
And I pull it out.
It's this glimmering gold white book. It is your Pact of the Tome.
Ah, so you did change it. All right,
I mean, I assume that's what you said that you were going to do, I thought.
I can.
Do whatever you want. We'll figure it out.
Okay.
But,
I wouldn't mind the book being still an important thing.
sure. For those of you following along at home, Heinrich is no longer a Hexblade Warlock.
Holy shit.
As
Full
of
class.
tonight,
Full class change. Well, no, subclass.
Heinrich is now a Celestial Warlock.
Oh
And that's where we're going to pick up. So, thank you guys very much for tuning in. for joining us along.
shit.
That was much shorter
Yeah,
than I
god
was
damn,
originally
you were
going to be.
some.
You actually,
You were some
I'd rather
hey,
play it
no, I'm just kidding,
automatically.
I'm just kidding.
if you guys had gone to Gulliver's Bay, it would have taken so much longer than if you guys had gone back to Port Quinn first. It's very fortunate that the Helm's Temple is here and all that stuff. Very, very good. So, that is our show for tonight. What are we doing next week? We're all here? It's a
Same thing.
Cool. It is going to be, let's see, next week is the 20th. That is going to be episode 20 on the 20th, which is going to be our 34th session.
And then we should hold off till 2020, and then.
And then
just kidding.
420,
No.
and then
No.
69. No, I'm just kidding.
No,
26.9.
we've got plenty of that already.
And I'm definitely, so one of the things that I am doing, we're getting close to 200 followers, so I think a little
Yay.
bit early in honor of my birthday, I'm going to bring next week a little gift for you guys for the table.
Wait,
So,
When's your birthday?
Big thank you to 3D Makerworks for supplying that thing. You know exactly what that is.
Oh, shit.
And to the artist that was involved. And we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining in.
Bye!
Play us on.
But also, thank you.